for 30% of the metro region's single-family rental properties.
Senator Ossoff says he's in the early stages of his investigation, but his goal is to inform the public and policymakers about the scope of this housing crisis through the Georgia State Study. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
DeKalb County CEO Lorraine Cochran Johnson wants to set the record straight about water bills.
There are no mass disconnections of water taking place here in DeKalb County.
She says they're limiting disconnections to a select few overdue accounts. The CEO is responding to claims the county is not working with low-income residents to help them pay their water bills. A new investigation leads to questions about your grocery bill.
Consumer Reports, The Guardian, and the Food Environment and Reporting Network recruited shoppers over the past 3 months to spot-check prices at Kroger and Kroger-owned stores like Fred Meyer and Ralph's. They found that the typical Kroger shopper ends up paying far more for what they think are discounted items. Everything from Cheerios and dog food to instant coffee and salmon. Consumer Reports says many of the items in question had outdated sales tags that rang up as a lot more when people went to check out.
Sherry Preston reports Kroger says it's working to address the possible discrepancies. Overdose deaths are down nearly 27% in the U.S., according to new data from the Atlanta-based CDC. In Georgia, overdose deaths were down just over 24%, with near 2,000 people dying from an overdose. Most deaths are from fentanyl. CDC says despite these overall improvements, overdose remains the leading cause of death for Americans ages 18 to 44. It is 3:03. The Von Hessler Doctrine begins in less than 2 minutes. Right now, live team coverage of traffic and weather in the 24-hour traffic center. Alex Williams.
Extra heavy delays filling in out of Sandy Springs into Cobb due to a stalled big rig right now, leaving only a left lane open. 285 westbound, the outer loop at I-75, exit 20. As delays get worse, you might want to consider 85 south to 75 north as an alternate, although inside the perimeter, 85's bunching up from Georgia 400, making the commute into Midtown. Better news on the south side, they just cleared up that heavy police activity that was blocking most of Jonesboro Road at I-285. Again, lanes are back open there, so no more need for an alternate. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly to mostly cloudy through this afternoon, watching for pop-up showers and thunderstorms, high 81. Lows tonight in the mid-60s. Finally drying out tomorrow, but heating up. Partly cloudy, high 87. Highs on Friday in the upper 80s to low 90s.
78 in Alpharetta, 82 in Fayetteville, 80 in Loganville. More news at 3:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
These people just make noise and basically waste our time.
Dear members of the media and the public, I welcome you.
Live from the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, and beyond, Hour 1 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. I am your huggable radio chat host, Eric Von Hessler. The other voices you hear are the Doctrinaires. Man of 1,000 voices, Tim Andrews. Lady of 184.7 characters, Autumn Fisher. The man behind the glass, George Clark. And the handsomest producer in all of producery, Jared Yamamoto.
You're right over there, man. You going through the change? Your voice?
Yeah, it's going to change. I'm like at the edge of a food coma right now.
You coming out of it, or you're on the other side?
I think I got one energy drink down. I think I'm coming to the other side. I had a late lunch. And then, sometimes you leave a place and you just got cheeseburger and tater tot smell all over you.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, it's my lunch. It's not me. It was my lunch.
Okay.
But it's that sort of haze, that I'm in
cheeseburger haze.
I'm in a cheeseburger haze right now. I got here about 2:15, and it's like, man, I'd much rather take a nap than do a show. But hey, we have obligations. Maybe I will take a nap. You guys can take over for maybe an hour or something like that.
You can't do that on Mark Zuckerberg.
No, you can't do that. No, no. I'm sorry. We're not doing that. Okay, sorry, boss. Sorry
it's also Mark Zuckerberg's 41st birthday. You cannot miss out on that.
Thank you.
He's 41.
41 years old.
I don't look a day over 12.
Oh, my goodness.
He's so beefy now. Gosh.
Oh, you like him, huh? You like to?
No.
Out of all I know that you are. You're a big fan of the oligarchs. Out of all of the oligarchs that you hate so much, if you had to, do the deed with one of them.
Yeah.
That's who we have. There's Bezos. There's Musk. There's Zuckerberg. Zuck to his friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's people that aren't really in the eye so much. The
Warren
public
Buffett.
eye. Well, Warren Buffett doesn't count. I'm talking about the tech moguls.
I would like to just offer. So if Autumn, if she's interested, you get a baby and millions of dollars.
That's right.
There's a lot to consider.
Yeah.
Because all of them are dorks and weirdos.
Yeah.
Okay. But Bezos.
And somewhere on the
seems
spectrum, somewhere like at some
Yes.
level, they're somewhere on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Bezos seems like he's got bones. Do you know what I mean? If you know
What does that
means?
mean? What does bones mean? Is that something the kids say or something the middle-aged ladies say? Or maybe
He's
both?
not a house. That old house has great bones.
He's got what does that mean? I honestly don't know what that means. Did you leave us? Are you crying? Are you in the corner? Are you
She's
sad?
Contemplating.
Are you?
Her whole connection just dropped. I see it.
I
She
see.
disappeared.
Maybe she just got mad at what I said and just threw the equipment across the room.
Or
Wow,
Jeff
I'm so
Bezos.
sorry.
Oh,
I don't
there
know what
she is.
happened.
Okay, so
They're listening to us.
what is that? Yeah, well, exactly. You
Shut-
can't go
shut
after
it
these.
down.
I don't know what that means. If the kids or the middle-aged women say it, the bones. He has bones.
I
You
think
mean?
I might be the only one that says it because anytime I reference it, no one knows what I mean. It means like bones, like you know what to do in the bed. You got some bones.
Oh, I don't know what. You must have dreamt one? You must have in a dream. That must have been a thing that people said about that, and for the rest of since that dream, you've just assumed that everybody says he's got bones.
It's part of the lexicon.
You're kind of
got
saying
bones.
You're kind of saying he has some game. He appears to have some
like,
game. Okay.
like moves. It's not just a rabbit. Like 30 seconds.
Now I'm not a young lady.
Bam, 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 bam.
I would think out of all of them, doesn't Zuck look more like somebody you'd meet in like Starbucks or something than the rest of them? I think the rest
Especially
of
with
them.
those glasses.
I mean, yeah, I guess. Well, you just said he got all beefed up. He's been like shooting.
Want a muffin?
Been shooting boar lately and stuff like that.
Has he really been hunting?
Yeah, he did. I saw a
He's
thing.
being
that-
a real weirdo.
He's, well, listen, when you have that much money and that much time, he's been with his wife since they were in college. They probably both hate each other by now, but they're, inextricably linked with one another.
He says that he shoots wild game, but maybe that's like code for his Hawaiian island where they shoot humans.
Yeah, they do
Ooh.
that game once a year.
The most dangerous.
Yeah, that game, like it was in that movie where, like they went after the MAGA people. What was that movie? Remember that movie when it caused all
The
that
Hunt.
scandal? The Hunt.
It
yeah.
actually wasn't a bad movie.
It really wasn't.
It was good.
That's what I heard. But then again, you told me Megalopolis is a really good movie, so I haven't seen that yet.
I can vouch for
looking
the Hunt.
forward
The
to
Hunt
it.
is good. That one actually, you expect it to go one direction,
Well,
but
I
then
never
it has
did.
some twists.
Actually, I never did. I never did because when I think people were overreacting when they heard about it, and the idea was that these kind of MAGA types were going to be hunted down by liberal elites. But I know enough about writing screenplays that the people hunting other people down are usually not the good guys. So I didn't think it was going to be. I mean, pretty much, if you're the people who are hunting other humans are usually they're the bad guys in
Typically,
movies.
yes,
So
yes.
I assumed that probably the movie was going to go more in that direction than a celebration of hunting down and killing MAGA.
Well, in fairness, I don't want to spoil a 6-year-old movie, so
Yeah,
I want to
yeah,
make sure.
well, I'll probably never
It's
see
been that
it.
long?
I think it's been 6
Everything's
years.
been that long.
Oh, it came out in the pandemic.
Remember the pandemic was, you go back to 2019, it's 2020, this was what, 6 years ago. I mean, time is just flying by. I have to, so the pandemic I think of as, I know it was really, in its most concentrated form, it was about a year and a half. And then it was like a little over 2 years on the next circle. But overall, it kind of felt like the whole thing really didn't die until like 2020. Like it really is kind of a 3-year experience.
Yeah.
So now I can set that out as, as a unit of measurement, a pandemic. How many more of those do I have left in me? How many more could I possibly go? I'm feeling pretty good. So I think I've got like, I have 5 pandemics left in me.
there you go.
At the least. I think at the least.
It depends
You
on
never
who the
know.
nominee for president's going to be in the next election.
Why?
Well, if it's somebody dangerous like Donald Trump, then they
Oh,
might
well,
have
it's
to put
not-
that next one out for us.
Well, it can't be Trump. The question is there something brewing between J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio? Because Rubio's getting all the jobs. Like J.D. Vance being the vice president would be the natural heir apparent to the MAGA movement. But while they're there, being vice president is kind of a sit on your hands until they ask you to do something kind of deal.
Go say hi to that guy.
Marco Rubio, now he's in charge of this and he's in charge of that. It seems like Trump is like boosting him up to be. And then, so they got to work together now, both knowing that they're probably going to be running commercials against each other and calling each other names. In the isn't politics so weird?
It's so bizarre.
They're working together now.
Yes.
They're probably like friends. And these politicians at this level, they get it. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be calling you all kinds of, oh, you, me too, yeah. Won't that be fun? It's really bizarre. And then when it comes down to it, they'll just be calling each other the worst damn names in the book.
Trump must be mesmerized with Marco Rubio's ears or something like that.
Boy, he does have
has
some ears.
Gigantic
I'm
ears.
like, hey, Dumbo, can you fly?
I'm glad he's a man because we can make fun of his appearances. Or his appearance, I should say.
A Republican white male, yeah, we can make
fun of his ears. Like if he was a female, we couldn't make fun of any features. But yeah, that dude's got...
They're gigantic.
You know, they say your ears keep growing your whole life. So it's a couple of things that just kind of keep growing your whole life. But he's not that old. Like he's got like ears that should have been growing for 80 years. He's got 80-year ears.
He's 50.
80 years.
He's 53. He's got a long way to go.
I mean, he's got ears like people that you meet that are like 78, 80 years old. And usually that you can see that because when you get that old, people don't usually have longer hair. So they like you look at Marco Rubio, it's like, why doesn't he? I guess you can't be a Secretary of State and have hair kind of going over your ears. Is that kind of the way that it is?
Yeah,
I guess you have to be
I
like,
don't think he could pull it off.
It's like if I had those ears, I wouldn't be like featuring them that way. Maybe the hair would kind of go over them. They are absolutely
he hears
stunningly huge.
He hears everything Trump says.
Well, that's right. He also
listens.
he's good with
I
negotiations.
can't even whisper around.
Yeah, those large earlobes. They funnel every bit of sound in a room.
I just
into
look at him and I just like, well, I'll go in the other room maybe.
You can hear my thoughts.
You can hear me talking to the Saudi prince about all the great deals we're making.
It's like having Alexa. Having Alexa in the room with you,
or Siri,
or any of them that are listening to us all the
Yes.
time. And then you say to your wife, like, "Yeah, I tell you what, man. You know what I miss, honey? I was just having a conversation. I miss Radio Shack." Then you go down and you open up your laptop, and YouTube feeds you all of a sudden a documentary on the rise and fall of Radio Shack. How do they know?
Hey,
There's a story. This is a sad story. And also, it makes me feel sad because my first reaction is not a good one as a human being. And I recognize that. So I want everyone to know that I may be a jerk, but I'm the best kind of jerk, which would be a self-aware jerk, a jerk that knows he's a jerk. That's the kind of jerk you want to deal with. Not a non-self-aware jerk, doesn't even know he's a jerk.
Oh, that Eric, he's a self-aware jerk.
He's
cool.
a
cool.
jerk, but he knows. Just ask him. He'll tell you. So my first response to this is not good, but I realize I'm wrong. Johns Creek woman. Where is this from? The Fox 5. Sorry. Shh. Johns Creek woman loses. Johns Creek.
Why did you shush?
Well, I'm just saying,
Not allowed to mention
no, I'm not allowed to like him. I can mention any damn thing I want. I'm Eric Von Hessler. I can mention anything the FCC
I know
will allow
somebody
me.
that works there.
I know. You guys
You
been
know them
getting
quite
good.
well.
Yeah. Happens to be the mother of his child.
Yeah.
Johns Creek woman loses $47,000 in online crossword puzzle scam. Now, I'm going to give anybody have any wild guesses as to the demographic, like what age group this person might be in?
22.
This would be an elderly resident. And when I know that I'm wrong, is when I see it's like I can't. It's like if you're smarter, these things don't happen to you. Am I wrong?
You are not
now,
wrong.
as you get
There might be
elderly,
some cognitive something.
that's correct. That's why I push back on myself. I said I'm a self-aware jerk.
She clicked
So
the
I'll
pop-up. She didn't know.
I'll have the jerk response, but then I will say, "Oh well, there could be more to it." She may have been in the last president. We saw he could have been taken in an online scam.
Crossword puzzle scams.
He fell for that scam that yes, sir, we should debate early this year. Remember that scam when he fell for that?
I clicked on a link.
Click the link.
Next thing you know, I'm debating.
So here's this. The Metro Atlanta police are warning residents to be careful of scams after an elderly resident lost more than $47,000 from a pop-up while doing an online crossword puzzle. Boy. So investigators say the scammers used spoof phone numbers to pretend to be employees at Bank of America and the Johns Creek Police Department. So I guess, the pop-up comes up, and did you read this whole thing, Joe? The pop-up comes up. She received a message that told her to call a phone number. So she's doing the online thing. Okay, right there. Don't do that. if a message comes up and says, call this number, don't. Or if the message says, hey, we need you to put money into this account for this, just don't. You know what?
I thought so.
How good is that particular online crossword puzzle? You could probably find crossword puzzles. Hey, you know what? If you had people who cared about you before they came over on Mother's Day, they would have picked up a book of crossword puzzles from Publix or something. And none of this would have happened. Keep Grandma and Grandpa offline. If you want money to still be there for you when you get older, keep Grandma and Grandpa, and depending on their age, Mom and Dad, just keep them offline. There's no reason for them to be online. Dad doesn't need to be looking at porn at his age. For heaven, Grandpa doesn't need to be looking at porn at his age.
When the nice person, when she called the nice person, they pretended to be Bank of America and her account had an issue. And then if they put her money into Bitcoin, it would be safe.
Yeah, and I've heard of Bitcoin. That's what the kids are doing.
My grandson
I bought the Trump coin.
I don't know why well, that might be worth some money one day. You never know.
Not right now.
So, just don't. If anything you're doing online, if something pops up and says, we need you to do something, just close the page. Just close the page. Go find another crossword puzzle or whatever it is that you're doing.
Pull up your pants, walk away.
That's right. Well, that's it. First of all, that's one of my big rules. We know that. Never use a credit card while your pants are around your ankles. That's just life advice.
A tenet of the Von Hessler doctrine.
Absolutely. It's great advice. Works always. No exceptions, no carve-outs. Again, it's like crossword puzzles. It's like, you're going to pay for porn? Have you noticed that you could never possibly get through all of the free porn that's out there? Has it occurred to you that it would be impossible for you to actually look at every image you were interested in of pornography that's actually free?
I'm almost there, sir.
Well, you are a doer.
Yes, sir.
You've almost got it. So when there's that much of something free available, here's an idea. Never pay for it. Never pay for it.
Sometimes, Eric, the X is so small, though. When those little pop-ups come up and they hide the X on there. I can understand how Grandma
you don't have
has
to call
trouble
the
hitting
number. You have to call the number and then. My wife almost.
But I called the number and it was my bank.
That wasn't your bank. That was.
But they said they were.
Yes, that's true. They did say they were. You know what? Just go ahead and give them everything. Give them everything you have. All that money.
I'm on my way to Target right now because my printer broke and they need a gift card. It's a secure Visa.
SNL a long time ago. It wasn't Adam Sandler was the older lady. Like the person comes to the door and just asks for something completely ridiculous and she immediately, let me get my purse. So just don't believe anything. Don't believe anything that you see that pops up that asks you a question. Anything that you're subscribed to. They're not going to text you to give you more information from how to pay. There's a landing page. Go there. If they want to communicate with you, there's a messages area in whatever the page is for whatever the product is. And if they have a message for you, you would find it there.
I think it's only a matter of time. You know how a lot of these pages have got the chat bot that has a clever name?
Oh, like
that
Rufus.
Talks,
Rufus. What Rufus at Amazon, I chat with Rufus, and Rufus always comes to the same conclusion. I should buy that.
Why don't you wait a week or two?
Rufus never gives me that.
No.
Rufus just says, hey, I'll get it now.
Rufus is like, I checked your checking account. You're good.
This is even if you don't like it, it's okay.
I saw what you did last night. I think you should buy it.
Oh, no. Your wife's on the same account. Okay.
I could make this say video game instead.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's
Do
right.
you want me to report this to Roswell PD?
You're right, Rufus. You're right, Rufus. I do need that. I need that new.
Jared's scenario got real dark.
I know. All of a sudden, it's like.
Rufus called.
Yes, Mr. Von Hassler, we'd like to check your cash.
I have $20.
Speaking of checking somebody's cash, there's I think it's a representative out of Texas or something. Somebody is putting together a bill. I can't remember if it's at the national level or at the state level to outlaw all pornography.
Isn't it Mike Lee from Utah?
There you go. There you go.
Senator Mike Lee.
That's Senator Mike Lee. When I saw that headline, and also like put people in jail and everything, I thought to myself, boy, I'd like to see his cash. See what he's up to. What kind of monsters? What sort of demons is he fighting inside?
It's the Interstate Obscenity Definition Act.
Good luck.
The IODA.
Yeah,
IOTA. Yeah.
Now here's the interesting thing about that is, on one hand, we could all. It's a bad idea because I just don't think it can work. There's something, they just move the servers offshore. Everybody gets a VPN. It's just not going to work. You're not going to be able to. But there's this other part of it that is like we're all going to act like they're just the biggest prudes in the world, and we can't admit to ourselves that it's not a good thing that society is awash in pornography. It's not a good thing that our children, how do you even get to 12 years of age anymore without, you'd have to live, like the parents would actively have to, we live out on a farm and we have no electricity.
We've got rabbit ears on the TV. That's the only content we get.
So it'll be one of those things, that is between, they're just so prudish or whatever. But in reality, it's just a bad idea because it can't work. You can't put this genie back in the bottle. But, I'm not going to get all highfalutin like, there's no problem with the amount of, or not even the amount, the easy accessibility of, or availability of pornography to everyone. It's not good. But something like that, you're not going to be able to outlaw it because we know how this stuff works. You just move the servers somewhere else. Anybody smart already has a VPN. If you don't want every bit of your data being sold to somebody, and who knows, the VPN company's probably doing it.
I'm sure they are. Basically everybody's kind of caught on to the VPN game. Maybe not the elderly lady in Johns Creek, but I think
she's not caught on too.
But most people though,
Shut up, VCR.
Yeah. she's still
close.
She's still talking about what a deal Amway products are. Anyway.
Oh, that's so great.
And then if you sell it on some other people, you get it
so
cheaper.
Convenient.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely, it is. They have everything. So.
Right. Now, hold on. Now, my boyfriend from Uganda is calling.
I'm telling you, I can
he
vouch.
He loves me, and we're getting married.
But I need money first, ma'am.
Well, how's he going to get here without the money?
That's right, $2 million.
Yeah. So.
Well, and his family's in trouble, see, so I'm sending him just a couple $100,000.
You are so kind.
He loves you.
Now, from the older people being scammed to the younger people, who, by the way, are dumb, because young people are always dumb. Everybody was dumb when they were younger. Even if you ask Einstein, he was probably always pretty smart. But when were you dumbest? He said, when I was.
He married his cousin.
No, yeah,
dumb.
that was a different time. Hey, he was doing
You took what you could get.
Jerry Lee Lewis did it. Hey, come on. Einstein and Jerry Lee Lewis were cool. They had there's a lot of similarities. Crossover in their personalities. They both married their cousins. They both loved rock and roll.
Geniuses in their field.
They certainly were. They were people who did things first in their fields. Absolutely. So, now young people. What's the young people dumb thing of the week?
Oh, boy.
This is from the AJC. Have you ever heard of them?
Good people.
Gwinnett school officials. Well, I don't know. I don't have a subscription, so I only have the headline. Gwinnett school officials say Chromebook TikTok trend won't be tolerated. So I know. So this is a thing where like there's a trend on TikTok.
So what people do is they take metal things like paper clips and they shove them into the USB drive and they try to create a fire inside the computer.
So you wait for and now that's the new trend. Try to burn down your classroom.
Yes,
I even have. Go ahead. Do we have a package?
I do, but I feel like we have to wait until after news to play it. But
we got music.
Don't go anywhere.
We got, oh yeah, because hey, listen, on the other side, if you're even thinking about changing that dial, we have a news package about the latest TikTok trend on the other side, huh? How about that? You're not going anywhere now, huh?
Have you gotten your grilling preparations and fixins for Memorial Day? It's coming up. I've got mine from Omaha Steaks, and you should too, because during the Memorial Day sale, you get 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. And listen, you're going to get an extra $35 off with promo code ERIC, E-R-I-C-K, at checkout. Just look for the promo code box, put in my name, Eric. You'll get $35 off and already 50% off site-wide. So I loaded up on hamburgers and the gourmet jumbo franks. Of course, my wife loves the caramel apple tartlets. But go load up your cart with deliciousness. Whatever you want, 50% off site-wide at Omaha Steaks for Memorial Day. It is deliciousness delivered to your door. I've already got my order in. I did save you guys some food, so go check it out. omahasteaks.com, 50% off site-wide. The Memorial Day sale happening right now. Use promo code ERIC, E-R-I-C-K, at checkout for an extra $35 off. Minimum purchase may apply.
When everyone in the family wants something different from this year's vacation, there's only one thing to do. Plan for Pigeon Forge. From gorgeous mountain views, shows, and shopping for leisure lovers to coasters, a 200-foot swing, and hundreds more rides for adventure seekers. Plus Dollywood's epic array of fun. There's plenty of variety for the whole family, all in one place. Unique experiences, quality time, and memories for years to come. Find your personal favorites. Plan your getaway at mypigeonforge.com.
Dave Baker here for Artisan Custom Closets. Spring cleaning is here. Let Artisan Custom Closets help you maximize your space and get organized. Artisan will work with you to design an affordable luxury custom closet where you'll be able to see all your accessories, clothes, and shoes without rummaging through the clutter. Don't use the pricey West Coast closet company that doesn't customize or the cheap closet companies with pushy salespeople and pricing games. Artisan Custom Closets, affordable luxury. ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 3:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Vincent Financial. Our top story, fewer people are dying from drug overdoses.
Overdose deaths are down nearly 27% here in the U.S., according to just released data from the CDC. Here in Georgia, overdose deaths were down just over 24%. In all, 1,984 people dying from an overdose here in our state. Most of those deaths from fentanyl. The CDC saying despite those overall improvements, overdose remains the leading cause of death for those aged 18 to 44. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Happening now, an active search underway for an alleged teen killer in Newton County.
Newton County deputies responded to a report of a person who had been shot at a home on Avery Drive in Covington. That's where they found 41-year-old David Gay dead inside. Investigators believe his stepson is responsible, 16-year-old Jaden Daniel. He fled from the home after the shooting in an SUV belonging to Gay. It was later found abandoned at Denny Dobbs Park. The agency says Daniel is believed to be armed and dangerous. Anyone who knows where he's at should call 911. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
And we have posted pictures of the suspect at WSBradio.com. The Red Cross is helping about half a dozen families after an apartment fire in Brookhaven.
Our units were dispatched out to the Madison and Brookhaven apartments. We encountered heavy smoke and flames coming from the balcony of one of the top units in the building.
DeKalb County Fire Captain Jason Daniels says a water main break in the area did not slow their firefighting efforts. No injuries reported. They are working to determine a cause of that fire. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is grilled at a House hearing today on advice he would give people about vaccinating their kids for measles.
It seems like I'm being evasive. Yeah. But I don't think people should be taking medical advice from me.
Kennedy has a history of questioning the effectiveness and side effects of vaccine, but has said that vaccines have a critical role in health care. It is now 3:32. Time for live team coverage of traffic and weather in the 24-hour traffic center. Alex Williams.
Afternoon volume heating up around Metro Atlanta. Bill stacked in, heading southbound out of Buckhead into downtown, starting 400 south at Lenox. You're on and off the brake pedal all the way down to I-20. Northbound slowing University Avenue up past Peachtree, Pine Street. Hero unit clearing up a stall. He's pulling away as we speak. 85 northbound into DeKalb County, just north of Claremont Road, exit 91. And on the south side perimeter, we had a crash clear out of the center lane, 285 eastbound, the outer loop, Jonesboro Road, exit 55. It's all in recovery mode now, leaving I-75 coming out of Clayton County. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly to mostly cloudy for this afternoon, watching for pop-up showers and thunderstorms, high 81. Lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 87. Even hotter still on Friday with highs in the upper 80s to low 90s.
Storm tracker radar showing no rain right now around Metro Atlanta. It's 80 in Johns Creek, 82 in Lithia Springs, and 84 in Hampton. More news at 4 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Spring storms can produce flash flooding with heavy rain flowing around your house and into your crawl space. And rainwater trapped in there will provide the perfect breeding ground for mold. Hey, this is Christina Upwards. Mold not only produces that stale, musty smell, but it can also impact the air quality in your home. But call my friends at American Crawl Space Solutions. They will encapsulate your crawl space, keeping it dry and preventing mold from forming. AmericanCrawlSpaceSolutions.com, your best value for crawl space repair.
American Crawl Space Solutions, foundations too.
Hope. It's more than a word. It's a breakthrough in the making. At City of Hope, we're pushing the boundaries of science, targeting cancer at the molecular level, with teams of experts working together to personalize a treatment plan right down to your DNA with unprecedented speed, making every second count, with appointments in as little as 24 hours. City of Hope, advancing cancer care at life-saving speed. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
This is Scott Slade. Nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. Like me. My doctor saw one lab work number that led to a diagnosis early enough, so I still had options. Now, that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation. Virtual imaging's LD CT whole body scan can be invaluable, giving you time and options for early treatment. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. For a limited time, Virtual Imaging is offering their LDCT body scan for only $995 per scan. That's a $2,495 value. Now, appointments must be scheduled in May. There are a limited number of scans available at this price, so a few minimum requirements may apply. Don't put this off. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
In St. Pete Clearwater, you can chill by the crystal clear Gulf.
And stroll downtown St. Pete's galleries and murals.
And hang with the locals on the Skyway Fishing Pier.
And escape to secluded white sand beaches.
Secluded, huh?
Yeah, and they're spectacular.
And then grab a sandwich at the Grouper capital of the world.
And maybe a nightcap at a rooftop bar with sunset views.
Okay, just a short drive away, you'll find just what you're looking for.
And then some.
Book your summer getaway at visitspc.com.
You still want a new deck on your house, but you think you may have missed a deck building window? Well, you're wrong. Dave Baker here. At Ben Hill Renovations, deck building goes on year-round. Whether your existing deck is old, rotting, and unsafe, or you just want to upgrade your outdoor living space, now is the perfect time to get the ball rolling. Check out their new website at bhrenovations.com. Better yet, go to their showroom, speak with the designer, and see all that they have to offer up close. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
All right, boy, that's a long way away because the whole time all I was thinking was, gosh, when are we going to get back? And I can hear that news package.
Oh, I know.
That news package.
I was getting texts from our APD CC here saying that his wife is in the teaching industry and has seen some kids that are doing that in his school as well.
This is the Chromebook
TikTok challenge.
TikTok challenge, which is telling kids to stick pencils and erase what?
Primarily metal things. So you're thinking about more like paper clips and stuff inside the USB drive until it catches fire.
They're trying to start fires in the room.
Yes.
Now, it is easy to go, oh, what is wrong? These must be the worst kids in forever. And then I think to myself, if I was a kid,
sounds kind
I
of
might be
cool.
very, very
we did real dumb
susceptible. Yeah, we did dumb things. So
we used to stab each other with pencils and
let's
stuff
just
like
go
that.
after let's just go after just TikTok in general and all the trends and all the BS. That's where I'm going to put it. But this is the latest thing that teachers have to deal with. But I remember a time where you just would not mess with the teacher. Those days are gone.
No, you feared getting in trouble.
Oh,
not
my
only
goodness.
at school,
Yeah.
but then you got in trouble at home later.
Exactly, because I think the way that it is now is if you get in trouble at school, when you go home, your parents' first thing is, well, let me hear your side of this. Like, that didn't exist for me.
There was no side.
If they said I was wrong and I got punished at school, then I got punished at home as well. So I think things have changed. I think teachers recognize if I was a teacher these days, I think that I would see a shadow lawyer behind every kid. And I would be thinking to myself, I don't want to be in the newspaper. I don't want to be the local story I don't want Eric Von Hessler talking about something that happened in my classroom. So basically, I would just do whatever I could, collect my pay and take the summer off. It's like
enjoy your summers. Exactly.
I think that it's just so now they got to deal with the fact that kids all over the country are trying to set the classroom on fire. All right.
In the viral trend on TikTok, kids jam paper clips or pencils into the USB ports of their school-issued laptops, causing them to catch fire. A 13-year-old student in Long Beach, California, was arrested for damaging a Chromebook. In Osseo, Minnesota, Lauren DiNucci was warned by her son's school that families will have to pay for any damage.
He thought it was a pretty dumb thing for people to be doing.
Tim Waller is with the Greenville County School District in South Carolina.
We've had more than 100 Chromebooks, I believe, damaged.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Hey, here's the thing that jumped out at me. Why did that one lady find it so hilarious?
Yeah. It was pretty stupid. They almost burned the whole building down.
That was
What?
ridiculous.
My kid is so bad.
Was that a mother? Was it a teacher? Was it? Oh, it's a mother of somebody.
I think it's a mother.
Here's the problem. Let's hear it again because we're identifying the problem here. Is that mom thinks it's hilarious.
In the viral trend on TikTok, kids jam paper clips or pencils into the USB ports of their school-issued laptops, causing them to catch fire. A 13-year-old student in Long Beach, California, was arrested for damaging a Chromebook. In Osseo, Minnesota, Lauren DiNucci was warned by her son's school that families will have to pay for any damage.
He thought it was a pretty dumb thing for people to be doing.
Tim Waller is with the Greenville County.
Who thought? Her son thought? The people. Well, why did he do it? If he thought she's not making any sense.
Maybe he just relayed it to her and she had heard about it. Maybe her son didn't do it.
Oh yeah, my son's better than that.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, Mama Lauren is better than
Now,
that. She knows.
So is your son? Did he try to burn his? Did he try to burn his? Are you listening? Did he try to burn up his Chromebook, or what exactly happened?
Yeah, I mean, he just thought it was pretty dumb. And it really, yeah.
It is, yeah. I don't know where you're coming from. Are you for or
Whoa,
against?
you don't. Whoa.
Wait a minute. Are you saying I'm Delulu? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, it's crazy. He thought it was pretty dumb.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Mama Lauren says boys will be boys.
We've gleaned no information from your cackling, but. Now, is it specific? Is it specific to Chromebooks that this can happen, or is it that
No, it's that
Chromebooks
schools issue.
Chromebooks?
Yeah, the schools issue the Chromebooks, and so
Okay.
that's what they have.
I've been trying the computers here. No luck.
No luck?
No, they don't. The Dells are fine.
Chromebooks are also
Work
like
on it.
significantly cheaper than like a standard
Yeah, well, that's
laptop.
why they're able to. All they do is you can only do the internet. You can't do apps and stuff with them, right? Is that the way? That
I think
works?
they have limited apps. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it's an email machine, and So is this what happens? So you get issued a Chromebook when you're a kid? Do your kids get it, or do you have to buy their computer? Oh.
No, they all have a little Chromebook. They used to, there was this interesting thing. Like during the pandemic, every kid got a Chromebook and they all were sent home with them. And then when they started to come back, it was like, bring your Chromebook into school. And a lot of the kids would just leave them there. And then it was like, all right, everybody turn in your Chromebooks. And I think they got like 15% back.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah. So like so many people just kept the computers. So then I guess they had to get more. And now everybody gets a Chromebook and it stays in the classrooms.
Well, it's kind of a weird thing if you're doing that, because within 2-3 years you've got outdated technology, right?
Right.
And I would imagine Chromebooks are not that updatable. The whole concept is that they're cheap and easy, right? So
and they don't really do anything special. They have like school board sort of thing where it's like all these games that are apps, not necessarily games, but like ways where the teacher can upload things and then you can put in things.
They're
like,
portals.
Yeah, like portals and things. Yeah, it's this whole thing.
But my point is, if 2 years go by and they say we want everybody to bring in the Chromebooks, it's really not much of a loss at that point, I would think, if you keep the Chromebook, because then it's not like it's not like the school system can sell them at top dollar, and you can't. I don't think you want to have 10-year-old or 15-year-old Chromebooks. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of weird that everybody's being given these things.
Yeah, I had high school books from the 60s. When I was in the 80s, we had the same books.
Yeah,
well, I mean, when I was in school, we had rooms that were the computer rooms.
Mm-hmm. Computer lab, yeah.
You know? Yeah, the computer lab. Yeah, and they had class in there. So I don't know. Like, I guess they would, if they're just updated. But I guess because every student has to have a Chromebook.
Yeah, can you?
It's pretty expensive.
Yeah, they're all probably looking at things they're not supposed to be looking at.
Yeah, there's so many ways
I don't think you
around
can
it.
on those. You really can't.
No,
there's a ton of stuff that's limited.
Adults,
Come on, you know your son Pete has found a way around it.
Well, he's too young.
Well, he has his iPad.
So one, it takes one kid. It takes one kid to figure it out, and then everybody's going to know.
Exactly.
And so there's always a workaround. There's always some kind of way. And the younger the kids are, the less likely that is to happen. Once they get 12, 13, 14, somebody in class is going to know how to work around something. And then it's like, hey, have you seen this? Although I imagine these days, by the time you're 12, you've seen it all.
Yeah.
You've probably seen
more. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, you've seen more.
It's not that inaccessible as it used to be.
Yes.
So if it is like a little bit of a hurdle to get over to use your Chromebook to see a boob or something, it's like they're like, oh, well, I'll just go on my iPad when I get home and look.
That's right. It's a sad, sad time, isn't it?
It's not sad.
It's a sad time. It really is. There's no.
Don't you want your 12-year-old self to have access to a movie?
No, I don't. No, I want it to be. No, yes, I want it to be. No, I want it to be the way that it was then, where there was you found a magazine in a dumpster and then you took it out to the woods or something, and you it was a thing. At least there was some kind of we know that we're doing something that's wrong, that we will be in trouble for. If it's just available everywhere, all it's going to do is, by the time you're actually old enough to engage in that kind of behavior, you're going to be totally burnt out on everything. There'll be no learning curve. It just will be all behind you, and you're going to be burnt out. And I'm telling you, these kids, by the time they're in their 30s, they're going to have hydraulics in their room, the light shows, to keep it
7 screens.
Yeah, somehow to keep them interested in the good old fashioned skin on skin.
What if they have a tree house in the back, kind of like what you're talking about here, where you take the magazine and they have a Wi-Fi connection back there, so they bring their iPad or their Chromebook,
right,
and they look at those kind of images in the treehouse, like what you
I still don't like it.
No compromise there?
I still don't like it. I'll tell you why. Because you were stuck with that one magazine for a whole year. You developed relationships with the people inside this magazine. It wasn't just, when you're that young, you just go, next, 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 next. I'm telling you, these people are going to have to set fires in their bedrooms in order to keep themselves interested in sex in the future.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
Are you serious? The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
OMG! Oh my goodness!
weather.
Just enter the word at WSBRadio.com or on the WSB Radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 5
The WSB 5K a Day Bonus Blitz.
on 95.5 WSB.
Just a word of wisdom from your friend Mark Aram. A damaged roof doesn't always lead to an entire roof replacement project. As a full-service Atlanta roofing company, my friends at Dr. Roof offer comprehensive roof repairs that will lengthen the lifespan of your existing roof and ensure that it will continue to protect your home as it should. It's storm season. Get peace of mind from my friends at Dr. Roof. They've been in business for over 35 years, and Dr. Roof offers up to a 5-year warranty on roof repairs. Get all the info online at drroof.com.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell, and for over a decade, I've trusted America's best choice for windows, doors, siding, and decks.
Spring is the perfect time to update your home, and America's Best Choice makes it easy with these spring specials. Highest quality, energy-efficient windows starting at just $299. Take 10% off a new deck and create the outdoor oasis of your dreams. No pressure, no gimmicks. Visit abcwin.com today to schedule your free consultation.
This is Scott Slade. Nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. Like me. My doctor saw one lab work number that led to a diagnosis early enough, so I still had options. Now, that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation. Virtual imaging's LD CT whole body scan can be invaluable, giving you time and options for early treatment. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. For a limited time, Virtual Imaging is offering their LDCT body scan for only $995 per scan. That's a $2,495 value. Now, appointments must be scheduled in May. There are a limited number of scans available at this price, so a few minimum requirements may apply. Don't put this off. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
You spend thousands of dollars, you waste weekends, and in a few years, you're back to square one because paint simply does not last.
RhinoShield, it's not paint. It's a high-tech ceramic coating system that protects your home from harsh weather and anything else that Mother Nature throws at it.
No chipping, flaking, or peeling. Just decades of defense with RhinoShield, backed by a 25-year transferable warranty. Why keep throwing money at paint that just won't last?
RhinoShield is the answer. Go to RhinoShieldGA.com for your free evaluation.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Belinda Skelton here with Atlanta Vision Institute's very own Dr. Ashraf, who is one of the most experienced eye surgeons in the country. Dr. Ashraf, we've all watched the news and the economy is uncertain, but failing eyesight isn't. And if you've held back due to finances, we've got good news for you, don't we?
Yes, Belinda, as you know, our eyesights degrade as we age. And with the laser optics procedure, that resets all of that. And most of my patients go most of the day without glasses. They can even read their phone without glasses. And in terms of the economy, most of these patients, their medical insurance can cover most of the costs. And if it doesn't, we have a lot of good financing options for this procedure.
That's awesome, Dr. Ashraf. I urge you to take the quiz to see if you're a candidate. Go to 2020atlanta.com. That's 2020atlanta.com.
So I find this piece of audio interesting. I've not heard it. I just see it on my cut sheet here. So Kevin O'Leary, he's one of the guys that's on Shark Tank.
He's Mr. Wonderful, right?
Yeah, he's Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank, and that's on CNBC. As a matter of fact, their only real hit show they've ever produced. The other one, I guess the college kids like the Kramer one, Mad Money.
Oh, yeah.
But other than that, because they've tried a bunch of shows that didn't work, but Shark Tank, huge hit.
They moved over to ABC now, since they're starting
Wait a
their
minute,
17th.
they're not on CNBC anymore?
They're now on ABC and in their 17th season.
Oh, okay, so that makes sense, because I was wondering, he keeps showing up on CNN, Kevin O'Leary, and I was wondering, So that's not a CNBC property anymore. So he's not attached to CNBC, so he can go and do
hits on CNN. And
Right.
I've seen him on Fox a couple times, too.
He's just making the rounds.
He is.
Like a young Autumn Fisher. So Kevin O'Leary. Nothing. I was just talking about how great you are.
Oh, okay, cool.
How awesome you are. How smart and funny. All
It's
that.
true. All those things are true.
And also the thing I said. So Kevin O'Leary, he's on CNN, and so I guess he's on a panel, and he called Kamala Harris a loser.
Yeah,
and
he
then,
said she got slaughtered in the last election.
And then so he called her a loser, and then they lost it.
The entire panel loses it on him. This was last night.
I imagine they tried to imply that he was a racist.
You be the judge.
I would imagine. All right.
Lastly, there's nothing about Kamala Harris that's a loser. Let's just put it.
Oh, I think there is. She lost big time.
You got it.
She lost an election.
The biggest loss in the
All right, we are not going to hold on.
I'm not being disrespectful. I'm talking fact. She got slaughtered because they disavowed the process. They anointed her, and she got slaughtered.
Kevin,
that's what happened. We don't have to debate
Hold on a
fact.
second.
We do not have to debate fact.
Hold on a second, Kevin. Just one point of clarification. She was elected in the 2020 election along with Joe Biden. She was elected in 2020 on the same ticket as Joe Biden. There's that.
Enough. I got to know where this is going. It's like,
that's good TV right there, right?
I mean, honestly, these same people at the panel, I'm sure, have said much worse about Trump. And there's been no pushback, which is fine. They're in the public arena. Once you throw your hat in the ring, that means you get the good and you get the bad. And it doesn't matter who you are, what your background is, what your lineage is. You made the decision. This is how it works, folks. The hat's on your head. And you decide, am I going to take it off of my head and throw it into the ring? And when you throw it into the ring, part of throwing it in is supposed to be recognizing all of the BS, all of the negativity that is going to be pushed back at you. Why? You think to yourself, the hat's still on your head? Because that's what happens once your hat's in the ring. And so all of this nonsense, no. CNN, it's okay to be just as graphically bold when describing what you don't like about Kamala Harris as, wait for it, Donald Trump. You see how this works? As news people and as panelists, you're not supposed to have sacred cows. That makes you a boring commentator, and that's the biggest sin that you can engage in when your job is to be a pundit on TV. The ones who make it are the ones who call it as they see it and let the chips fall where they may. And when you don't like where the chips are falling, you're not supposed to get up and try to haphazardly try to catch them before they hit the ground, which is exactly what we heard there in that nonsense. You can criticize Kamala Harris harshly and be nowhere near anything like a racist. You see, what I just said is as true as 2 + 2 = 4. So if you don't recognize this, we're allowed to criticize, even in harsh terms, anyone who doesn't leave the hat atop their head. Do you understand how this works? And it works like this no matter what your favorite sociology professor taught you in your favorite class, because every journalist's favorite class is sociology, and every journalist's favorite professor that they ever really connected to was a sociology professor. But they were cool people and the kind of person you can imagine maybe even smoking a joint. But the advice they gave you has almost zero currency in the real world. So if you want to talk about things on TV, get rid of the sacred cows, stop being boring, and lean into being interesting.
The basketball playoffs are here on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on the action. The app is so simple to use. Just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code ROAM. Get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. That's code ROAM on Prize Picks to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get the $50 bonus credit just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions restrictions and details.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
It's graduation season. This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, where we've been helping Atlanta celebrate those special moments since 1939. Graduation gifts symbolize a new stage of life. For a college graduation, go with something timeless and beautiful, like a diamond tennis bracelet starting at just $21.90. Incredible jewelry doesn't have to be unaffordable, so don't compromise. Celebrate graduation with a lifelong treasure at D. Geller & Son, in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Attention seniors, do you want more personalized healthcare with more one-on-one time with your doctor? Then join us at the grand opening of CenterWell Marietta. CenterWell offers senior-focused primary care that's centered on you. Celebrate with us Tuesday, May 20th, near the Walmart off Highway 41 here in Marietta from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Enjoy food, music, and more at this free community event. Plus, tour the new doctor's office and meet the care team. For details, visit cometocenterwellgeorgia.com. That's cometocenterwellgeorgia.com.
This is Scott Slade. If your air conditioning system isn't running just right, let me share what I know to be true about Ragsdale Heating and Air. Great people, many with the company for 10, 20, even 30 years. And if you need a new system, take advantage of up to $1,700 off a new Carrier home comfort system. And it comes with Ragsdale's trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty. Ragsdale's the name I know you can trust for plumbing, electrical, and insulation, too. Schedule your visit online at ragsdaleair.com or call them. Ragsdale is the name I know you can trust.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
That's your garage door. Almost broken, but technically not broken yet. And you know the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So you don't fix it, 'cause it ain't broke. And it gets worse. Until one day, 2 a.m., raining alligators, carload full of dry cleaning, you push the button, and out of nowhere, guess what's broke? Your garage door. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. A garage door that's almost broken can actually do more damage than one that's fully broke. Jammed up parts put an extra strain on the motor, rollers out of whack stress the tracks and the belts. Fix it early, while it's still a simple repair, and before your car gets locked out, or locked in. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage, and we'll come over and make it right. Because if it's almost broke, you fix it.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Right now, fresh Heritage Farm bone-in chicken drumsticks or thighs are on sale. Just $1.49 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk. News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 4 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News is sponsored by QC Kinetics. Our top local story, it's happening now. The search goes on for an alleged teen killer in Newton County. WSB's Steve Summers reports live on how you can use our website to help police catch him.
That's right, Bill. We've got multiple clear photos of 16-year-old Jaden Daniel. Investigators say he shot and killed his 41-year-old stepdad, David Gay, at their Avery Drive home in Covington almost 24 hours ago. He then drove off in Gay's car, abandoning it 8 miles away at Denny Dobbs Park. Caitlin Jett with the sheriff's office says Daniel could be anywhere by now.
I don't have any particular areas pinpointed at this time, but we really do want anybody to call 911 immediately if they do see him.
Here's where you come in. Go to our website, WSBradio.com, where you can see photos of Daniel. Call 911, but officials say do not approach him under any circumstances. He's considered armed and dangerous, and he's, of course, charged with murder. Reporting live, Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
84 degrees in Atlanta. Be on the lookout for more pop-up showers and storms today. How hot does it get to end the week? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. This is all new at 4 o'clock, a cattle fraud scam in North Georgia. The Georgia Department of Agriculture and Franklin County Police are looking for more victims.
Garrett Hill, a.k.a. Jared Smith, is sitting behind bars in Franklin County for selling cattle that wasn't his.
What he's doing is actually going around and taking pictures of other people's cattle or a video and posing those cattle as his and putting it online.
Chief Harlan Prevost with the Georgia Department of Agriculture says once the buyers put down a deposit or pays a transport fee, Hill goes silent. So far, they know of 13 victims in several states, most of them here in Georgia, and they believe there are more. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
This just in, Governor Kemp signs a bill to compensate for legal fees and wrongful convictions. It could allow President Trump to recover millions spent fighting election interference charges in Fulton County. The deadline is midnight for the governor to sign or veto any remaining bills on his desk. More than 4 decades after her infant son was kidnapped, an Atlanta woman hopes a missing persons DNA event will help reunite them. Here's a report all new at 4 o'clock.
5-day-old Raymond Green was stolen by a woman who pretended to make friends with his mom in the hospital, then visited Donna's home.
She seemed to be a very friendly lady. I had no idea that she was just baiting me just to steal my son.
45 years later, helming a nonprofit helping similar families.
I just had a case where a child was missing 20-some years. They just happened to do a DNA, and it was one match.
Saturday at Legacy Park, people can report their own missing persons, or Donna Green hopes give DNA samples to narrow the searches.
I'm believing that if my son come home, it's going to be through DNA.
In DeKalb County, Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Senator John Ossoff launches an investigation into out-of-state companies buying up homes in metro Atlanta.
A new study by Dr. Taylor Shelton at Georgia State University has uncovered that only 3 companies own about 11% of the homes in metro Atlanta. And Senator John Ossoff says some areas are more impacted than others.
In Henry County, these companies own nearly 64% of all single-family rentals. And in Paulding County, 78%.
The senator says the study indicates that Atlanta's suburbs are being targeted, and his goal is to inform the public and policymakers about the scope of this housing crisis. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
If you see a lot of emergency vehicles near the Georgia Aquarium this afternoon, don't worry, it's only a drill. First responders are conducting a training exercise that looks real. Shada Spikes with Atlanta Police says they are training for all different emergency situations.
It may be a variety of scenarios, ranging from an active shooter to a shooter who may be contemplating suicide.
Because of the training, Baker Street Northwest near the aquarium will be closed to cars and pedestrians starting now until 11 o'clock tonight. It is now 4:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple team traffic begins now with Alex Williams.
Hey, good afternoon, Bill. We are going to check the ride around I-285, where we're definitely seeing the afternoon volume stack in on the inner loop, 285 east and southbound. Delays start right around Peachtree Boulevard, passing I-85 Spaghetti Junction for the ride down to Highway 78, the Stone Mountain Freeway. If you're on Highway 78, heads up out in Snellville. They've been dealing with a crash blocking all the eastbound lanes right at Grayson Parkway. Traffic being rerouted there. On the outer loop of the perimeter, 285 westbound, brake lights find you in Dunwoody from Chamblee-Dunwoody Road over to I-75 in Cobb, where a stalled Big Creek has been moved off to the right. How are things looking through the heart of the city, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, it's very slow. 75-85 northbound jammed rides packing in before University Ave past Spring Street. 85 southbound, those delays starting at the Georgia 400 merge, and 75 south, heavy volume beginning around Howell Mill Road, both getting to I-20. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Partly to mostly cloudy this evening, a stray rain shower possible through early tomorrow morning, lows in the mid-60s, drying out and heating up for tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy, high 87. Friday, a mix of sun and clouds, highs in the upper 80s to low 90s.
Nothing on Storm Tracker radar at the moment. It's 81 in Lawrenceville, 79 in Woodstock, and 82 in Brookhaven. More news at 4:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 2 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. Boy, it is funny to watch these Republicans in the House and the Senate trying to not answer questions about how ridiculous this idea of the president accepting his plane from, I'll give in, I'll say Qatar. I think it's Qatar, but I'll say Qatar because everybody wants me to say Qatar. All right, I'll say it.
Even the Qataris.
Even the Qataris. The Qataris. The Qataris. The Charcuterie. Charcuteries. That's what I was trying to get to. The charcuteries? Is that what they want me to say? I will say Qatar.
Apparently you're supposed to do some kind of like $1 trillion deal in economics, just overall economics with them. Overall business with
trillion?
Them.
Not that much.
$1 trillion.
Maybe on the whole trip, not with
it says
Qatar.
$200 billion up there.
Well, he just signed a deal with Boeing. Oh. So Qatar is going to buy Boeing jets, but the president doesn't like where Boeing is on the new Air Force One, so he wants their jet. They want to give it to him. Here's the problem, and I thought this from the very beginning. Besides the, however I say that word, emoluments or what, besides all of that, and accepting gifts, and how that's just patently an absurd, terrible idea. He's only president for 3.5 more years. And the amount of time that it would take to take a private plane, first of all, it's from another country. So the first thing they're going to have to do is they're going to have to break it down piece by piece to make sure that there's no bug in there, there's no intelligence gathering devices on this plane, because that would be great for the Qataris if they could just hear every conversation the President of the United States is having. So they have to make sure that that's not there. They have to make sure it's not a Trojan horse. So you have to, first of all, making a plane Air Force One, people don't, I know this is ridiculous to think about this happening, but these planes are designed in such a way with such technology that the president can still run the world in the middle of a nuclear war. You can't just accept a plane from another country and go, hey, get that ready for me in a few months. It's not like that, because we were talking about this during the break. Essentially, we're going to have to break it down into pieces and then put it back together again. And then at the same time, make it ready so that, I mean, the president of the United States has to be able to command troops in the field in the middle of Armageddon, basically, from this plane. Yeah. And so there's no way it's going to be ready while he's president.
The biggest
to be as good as the one they have now in terms of all of that, all of those abilities.
And the biggest complication that I keep reading about with that plane is that this 747-800 that Qatar is offering us does not have the ability to be refueled in the air.
And that's a major thing. That's a major thing right there.
Have to
and
refit.
if the president is flying around for 3 some odd years in a plane that can't be refueled, anybody who sees that as a potential target, you're giving them a piece of information. You're handing it to them. That's the thing about information. That's the thing that
sabotage a runway and then they can't land. And
exactly something. This is what you have to understand about information. This is something that was found out, in the 20s and 30s, and the work that Claude Shannon did. Information leaks. This is why we were able to build the machine. What was it called? The Enigma. Because the Germans had a really, really kind of solid, sort of system of encoding their messages. But what people understand who are in the ciphering business is that information leaks. You find the information that's leaking, and then you pull on it like a thread on a sweater, and it takes you somewhere else. In that case, the Germans' encoding thing, the thing that was known was that their encoding was so good that it never, ever happened that a letter ever represented itself. In most other encoding things, it would be very rare, but sometimes a P would be a P, or a 2 would be a 2. And you would think that that's like, wow, what great. But to the other side, to the people with sight who build machines, that's a piece of information that's leaked. Now we know that no letter or number is ever itself. That's a small little piece of information. Information leaks. So if once you know that it can't refuel in the sky, that's a piece of information that's leaked to anybody, and they could.
Yeah, so you just start tracking it. So anytime
start
the plane's in the
tracking,
air, it only
and
has X amount of time.
You start pulling on that thread. Where else does it take you? What other information can we learn from that? And so it's a stupid idea. Beyond the thing that, and I'll tell you what, I've become convinced that, this whole idea is, well, it's not under the emoluments clause because they're not giving it to me, they're giving it to the Department of Defense. But part of the deal is it immediately goes into his presidential library because the next Air Force One is going to be ready by the next president. And I'm thinking, I know exactly what's going to happen because it's Trump. If by the time he gets out, if he's still, if he's not in that slowing down, getting really slow, if he's still got a few more years of activity left in him, I know exactly what he's going to do. He's going to start flying in it and say, well, what are you going to do about it? And then at that point, it really will be a gift from the Qataris to him. But what are you going to do? Let me tell you something that I'm pretty sure of is after the last round of things, and when he's not on the ballot and people are trying to get some of his voters to them, I don't think anybody's going to be in the mood for suing this guy for anything. Once he's gone and he's no longer in power, I think people are just be like, all right, whatever. So he'll just be like, yeah, I'm flying. I'm going to use
plane.
it. Yeah, it's my plane. I'm going to use it. I'll put it in the presidential library. When I'm done.
Who's going to stop me?
If you don't like it, sue me or whatever. And so I look for that to happen. But there's no way that this thing can be brought to the standards of an Air Force One in terms of everything needed for a president. The conversations that are had on that plane, there's world leaders, there's everything. So the first thing they have to do is they got to break the whole thing down to make sure that Qatari intelligence agencies haven't stocked it full of listening devices.
Maybe he gives it to one of his biggest donors. So that way you don't have to retrofit it. You don't have to change it at all. You just give it to somebody that gave him.
Here you go, Mrs. Edelson.
Yeah. Is she 103 at that point? Not doing much flying.
Still has a lot of money.
I see that Pete Buttigieg is out there saying he's going to run for president.
He has a beard now.
Oh, yeah, he's every man.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm just like you.
He's got a problem that I won't mention because I can't get in front of it because people say mean things about me. But he's got a problem that is not gonna. He's got a problem on his side of the field, and I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna, kind of reared its head South Carolina primaries last time around, and that's just something I'll just kind of hint to and leave alone. It's not my business really to talk about it. But outside of that, the guy had, look at Marco Rubio's going to run, right? Look what he's doing. He's Secretary of State, on this, on that. Even a lot of people who don't like Trump or this administration kind of see him as kind of an adult in the room. I think his demeanor as Secretary of State has surprised me that he seems, so up for the job. And so he's putting together a resume because he knows that's why he accepts every job. Yeah, I'll do this, I'll do that, because that makes great commercials 4 years from now. He's done this, he's done that. He knows every world leader. He's, all of that. He's building a resume. Pete Buttigieg was the Secretary of Transportation for 4 years under an administration that was run by the minions, not the guy at the top. So you really had a lot of room to build your resume, and he did nothing of note. The biggest things that happened, the train derailment in Ohio. It took him a year to get there or something, or it did not respond.
A lot of people say that swung Ohio so much more red.
If you wanted to be president, then even if you don't really care about people and it's just the most cynical thing in the world, you look at that as like, oh, I got to be there. I got to be hands-on. I got to be in front of cameras. I got to be comforting families. I've got to be telling people that we're going to do this, that, and the other thing. If you're trying to build a resume to be president, that's what you would be doing. He did nothing. He did nothing of note for 4 years that made the news, and the news was friendly to him. So if he had been doing anything of note, they would be putting it out there.
Well, him and his partner did just have a child, though.
No, but isn't
4
that kid
years
like
ago.
5 years old now?
That was a lot of the excuse
Yeah.
when you would read about him
Yeah,
and
but
like
that's
why his
BS. Is that going to happen when you're president? Oh, sorry, I missed that. My kid's graduating. Some job, it's called public service. You don't get involved in it if you need every weekend off. That's just the way that it goes. So again, even by saying that, even that excuse says to me, well, people aren't going to, being president is 24 hours a day. You don't, something happens somewhere and it's important. They wake you up at 3 and you got to do something. You got to be. So I don't get, I think he likes running for president. I think he probably is a good candidate in the sense that he's willing to go on, other, unfriendly media outlets, things like that. But he had the 4 years to build the resume, and he didn't do it, which is just, I don't know. Watch Marco and watch J.D. Vance. They know that they're running, and they will be spending all of their time, whether it's good for us or bad for us. I'm not saying what's good and what's bad. I'm saying what you do. Right now, in these years, when you have an opportunity, you're making commercials. You're doing things that you can tout in commercials when you run. And I hate to appear cynical, but he just seems to love to hear himself talk and run for president. He had the opportunity to build the resume and didn't take advantage of it. Alex Williams sees a crash on the downtown connector.
Hey, good afternoon, Eric and gang. Yeah, just found this one on the Jam Cam. It's knocking out 2 right lanes, 75-85 southbound, right where I-20 merges into the connector southbound, and that is stacked up the ride even more so back into the northeast Atlanta area from the 85-400 merge. Make your way over to Northside Drive, take that down toward Metropolitan Parkway, Highway 29, some alternates to avoid that. Checking the ride to the northern suburbs, 85 northbound, it's getting a tad slower from Chamblee Tucker up into Norcross and secondary slow zone up into Swanee from Sugarloaf Parkway toward 985. How are things looking on Georgia 400, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, northbound rides start to get slow, leaving the perimeter getting to Northridge Road, and then those rides free up a bit until you get into Alpharetta. Rides pick up again at Old Milton Parkway, getting past Windward Parkway. And this report is sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Cool down at Whole Foods Market. Ben & Jerry's and Talenti frozen pints and novelties are 2 for $8 with Prime through May 27th. While supplies last, shop in store or online. Terms apply. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
When traffic hits.
I-75 completely shut down north and south between McDonough and Locust Grove.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
Brake lights fill in on 316 westbound at Sugarloaf Parkway.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
Heavy police fire department activity.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hey y'all, Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care, and I'm not gonna cry in this commercial, I hope. As many of you know, I lost both my parents recently, but I am so thankful they were able to finish their lives at home where they wanted to be. It's all because of the incredible caregivers who came to see them every day. I am so grateful to Four Seasons Home Care. This is a real family-owned company that vets and hires every single one of their caregiving specialists. They don't have contractors. They're not some national corporation. They are simply the best here in Georgia. And a lot of you have asked me about my journey and if home care is right for your aging parents. I'll tell you what I tell them. Call Four Seasons Home Care and just start the conversation. It's a 100% free call that can change everything. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
Hey, remember that crack in the concrete by your pool, the one everyone keeps tripping on? It's still there. AquaGuard Foundation Solutions can fix that. Just schedule a free inspection at aquaguard.net and a team of experts will stop by to help you out. Remember the name.
AquaGuard.
This is Scott Slade. Nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. Like me. My doctor saw one lab work number that led to a diagnosis early enough, so I still had options. Now, that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation. Virtual Imaging's LD CT whole body scan can be invaluable, giving you time and options for early treatment. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. For a limited time, Virtual Imaging is offering their LDCT body scan for only $995 per scan. That's a $2,495 value. Appointments must be scheduled in May. There are a limited number of scans available at this price, so a few minimum requirements may apply. Don't put this off. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Right now, fresh Heritage Farm bone-in chicken drumsticks or thighs are on sale. Just $1.49 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You work hard, and when the job's been hard on you and you get hurt, you need the strong arm. John Foy and Associates. Smiler Mark McKay here. His team of experienced attorneys specialize in fighting for injured workers with zero upfront costs. JohnFoy.com.
Saw a story today about it's like if you sit on your butt too much every day, your brain will shrink. Sitting on your butt shrinks your brain. Like that cab driver who sits on his brains all day.
Yeah. What about Stephen Hawking? He was a genius and he passed away, but he sat down all the time.
Well, that was not by choice. I don't know if you know this.
I know, but still.
But Stephen Hawking has something to say to you from the other side.
Mm-hmm.
My brain was already very large.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was able to shrink to a genius size.
So there you go. His brain was so big that when it shrunk, it was still bigger than any kind of brain we'd ever have.
Okay.
If you, the birds sound lovely this Wednesday. I want to say, all right. Well, how's the weather? The birds are chirping, so it must be nice.
Gorgeous.
Oh, good. Sounds you. What are you sitting?
Earlier, there was a wasp in the car, and I calmly opened the door
Really?
for it to leave.
It's very professional of you.
You should have killed it.
Well, no,
Why?
Because then I'll get mad.
Do you know the trick with a wasp? So because they fly so slow, if you take your hand and you actually swat them down and step on them, you
That's
have
what I
enough time
do.
to do that.
No, that's what I do.
I can't. I'm
Knock
not
them out
going
of
to
the
do
air.
that.
Yeah, knock them out of the air and then
no,
step
hey,
on them.
hey, that's your car. That wasp doesn't have any right to be in that car.
My
got-
windows are
Let me tell
down.
you something about the wasp. He's got the whole world. He's got the whole sky.
You got to come into my car.
Doesn't need to come into your. This is the death zone because you want the word to get out to other wasps.
Don't play
mess with her.
that. Don't play that game with hornets though, because they are fast.
Well, hornets you can't slap down because they flap
Oh,
their
maybe
wings
this
so
was a
much faster.
hornet. I don't know the difference.
Hornets will sting you over and over again.
So will wasps, but
Will they?
they're not
Yeah,
as
but that is-
aggressive.
I'm thinking of
I
yellow
didn't have time to ask
Yellow
the
jackets are
wasp or
hornets.
hornet what if it would sting me over and over.
Well,
I'm
maybe
saying
you
it-
should. Maybe you should show some interest in other, things around you. It's not all
I
about
let it
autumn.
live. That was as much interest as I gave
No,
it.
they don't
now
want
it's
to
gonna-
live.
now
what
it's
kind of
gonna-
life is it to
don't
run
wanna
around
live.
as a wasp?
Now that wasp is going to tell its wasp wife and its wasp kids,
Yeah.
hey, I went in this car. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Honey, I found a car.
She's one of those catch and release types. We can take advantage
We
of.
can go take advantage of it.
Let's start building a nest. It's made of paper.
I didn't even have to pay a car payment to get in here.
So get up off your ass, or else you're not going to be able to know where your keys are
Me?
very soon. Not
Oh.
you. I'm telling anybody. Yeah, you. In the commercial breaks, get out of your car, walk around the block. Otherwise, your brain's going to shrink because you're sitting on your fanny too much. I didn't read the article, so I don't know what the connection is, what it is about sitting down. It probably slows down your blood or something.
Makes sense.
And the next thing you know, you're.
Well, you blah 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 blah. Vein that goes to your brain from your butt. That doesn't connect.
And they both start with a B. There's a connection.
The brain butt connection.
Yeah, it's the brain butt connection.
It's a good movie, too.
The brain butt connection?
You've seen that?
I have seen that. I've seen the brain butt conspiracy.
That's a good one.
Oh, yeah. So get up and walk around. There's another reason. You want your brain to shrink, for heaven's sakes?
I'm a firm believer that the second I wake up in the morning, like I guess not the second, but usually there's a couple snoozes in there, but within 20 minutes of me waking up, one of the best things that I've changed since we moved to afternoon drive has been to go out and get outside immediately. And just start breathing that fresh air, get the sunlight. It really does wake you up better.
I get active very quickly because I immediately do all the showering and the shaving and the whatever. I get it out because I hate doing that. Get it out. Get it done by 8:15 in the morning. Move on with your life. And then I have other things to do. I got to go back to exercising in the morning. I was exercising
Yeah,
in
you
the
should
morning.
go outside.
I got a lot of stuff
Go
going
walk
on.
around your
I've got a
neighborhood.
lot of stuff going on. I don't walk around my neighborhood. Last time I walked around my neighborhood a few weeks ago, some kids got all suspicious. And they're like, do you live in this neighborhood?
That's a good kid.
Yeah,
That's a
only
smart
for
kid.
25 years. Only since before you were born. Like 10 years before you were born. So I'm,
Why are your pants off?
Okay, that's a whole different story. But
It's his neighborhood.
To the first question, what you don't know is if you've lived in this neighborhood for 25 years, you're allowed to take your pants off when you walk around. Oh, you want to give stuff away? Is that what you want to do?
I'm feeling generous.
Are you in a giving mood?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, 2 tickets to see Bryan Adams on Thursday, November 6th at Gas South Arena. Be caller number 10 to 404-872-0750. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. Alex Williams says a crash is making delays worse through downtown.
Hard to believe they could get worse, but they are with the jam. About a 35-minute ride from the 85-400 merge southbound down to this travel advisory crash in 2 right lanes just below I-20. It's also making I-20 both east and westbound even slower trying to ramp onto the connector south. Think about North Side Drive, work your way over to Moreland Avenue Boulevard, some alternates to get you around that. Northbound still very slow as well. That's just volume though, 75-85 north from Highway 166 up past Freedom Parkway. How's the ride through the work zone on I-20 into Cab, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, 20 eastbound seeing you slow, leaving the perimeter, getting past Panola Road. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any H-System maker or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Hey, it's Belinda. You know, when I built my home 21 years ago, I made one of the best decisions ever. I called Arrow Exterminators, and because of them, I still don't have bugs. Right now, termites are swarming, mosquitoes are buzzing, and ants are biting. Yep, it's spring, and so there are pests. Don't let pests ruin your spring. Protect your home and yard with Arrow's proven pest control solutions. Arrow Exterminators uses the most effective and environmentally friendly solutions available. Plus, they offer a 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. It's that dedication to quality and care that's kept them family-owned for over 61 years. Get started today with a free home or business pest inspection. Just call 888-GO-ARROW or visit them online at arrowexterminators.com and tell them Belinda sent you. Trust me, you'll be glad you did.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
The Lloyd Advisory Group has a question for you. Is your retirement inflation proof? Here's what we mean. In retirement, chances are you're on a fixed income with unpredictable expenses. So how do you not run out of money when the cost of just about everything continues to go up? You inflation-proof it. Financial advisor Mark Lloyd and the team at Lloyd Advisory Group can show you ways to help fight inflation so it doesn't outpace your income. Call us today at 770-766-5611. Inflation can take a huge chunk out of your retirement savings, but it doesn't have to. With some simple planning, inflation can go from being a major disruption to a minor annoyance. Call Mark Lloyd and the team at Lloyd Advisory Group now to start inflation-proofing your retirement today. 770-766-5611. That's 770-766-5611. Insurance products and services are offered through the Lloyd Advisory Group. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
WSB Atlanta.
WSB-FM and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News, weather,
Traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 4:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Hoffman Financial Group. Our top local story: DeKalb County CEO taking issue today with some residents who are complaining about receiving water shutoff notices.
While there have been some limited shutoffs, CEO Lorraine Cochran Johnson says they haven't rolled out anything widespread. That's even as the county deals with numerous delinquencies.
We have delinquent $104,719,076.41.
She says they'll start aggressive measures next month to start resolving outstanding bills.
If you owe a water bill, please come forward.
Commissioners recently approved a water rate increase of 10% annually over the next decade. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
85 degrees in Atlanta, drying out but heating up starting tomorrow. Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. Happening now in Newton County, the search for a teenager accused of killing his stepdad. Deputies are searching for 16-year-old Jaden Daniel.
Arrest warrants have been issued for Daniel, who is considered armed and dangerous.
Caitlin Jett with the Newton County Sheriff's Office says the suspect is accused of killing 41-year-old David Gay. The boy fled the scene on Avery Drive in Covington in an SUV belonging to Gay. It was later found at Denny Dobbs Park. Anyone with information should call 911. We posted the suspect's photo at WSBradio.com. For the first time, we're hearing from the college student facing deportation after she was pulled over by police in North Georgia. Speaking from an ICE detention center, Jimena Arias Cristobal tells CBS Mornings it's been painful for her family.
I think the hardest part is being ripped away from each other.
The teen's traffic charges have been dismissed, but ICE officials say they are moving forward with the deportation process. One of Canada's most wanted is captured in Brookhaven. Kamar Cunningham has been on the run for more than 4 years after he failed to show up for sentencing for his role in trafficking firearms across the U.S. border as part of a larger criminal organization. ICE and Homeland Security officials say they took him into custody in Brookhaven earlier this month. Cunningham is awaiting extradition to Canada, where he faces 9 years in prison. A positive trend. Drug overdoses are down in the U.S., including here in Georgia.
Since late 2023, overdose deaths have steadily declined each month. And according to new data from the CDC, there were 30,000 fewer drug overdose deaths in 2024. So what's behind the decline? There are several possible factors, including increased availability of overdose reversing drugs like Narcan.
Suck it up that nostril. 151 Narcan administered.
Other possible reasons for the decline: expanded addiction treatment and shifts in how people use drugs. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
The Northern District of Georgia has a new U.S. attorney.
Chief District Justice Timothy Batten Sr. administered the oath of office today for newly appointed interim United States Attorney for the Northern District of Georgia, Theodore Hertzberg. Hertzberg served for nearly 10 years as Assistant U.S. Attorney, where his tenure began in the Savannah headquarters, Southern District of Georgia. While there, Hertzberg prosecuted violent crimes, drug dealers, fraudsters, and money launderers. Hertzberg's new appointment started on May 13th. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
WSB Money Update. Make sure your grocery bill adds up. Consumer Reports is out with a new investigation finding discrepancies between the prices marked on items and what was actually paid at checkout at Kroger stores. It shows price tags were outdated by about 10 days, resulting in shoppers paying more for what they thought were discounted items. Kroger says it is working to address any situation when they fell short of shoppers' expectations. Schools in Metro Atlanta and across the country are warning parents about the Chromebook Challenge. In the viral trend on TikTok, kids jam paper clips or pencils into the USB ports of their school-issued laptops, causing them to catch fire.
We've had more than 100 Chromebooks, I believe, damaged.
Tim Waller is with the Greenville County, South Carolina School District. Gwinnett County schools say this behavior will not be tolerated. They've disciplined more than 30 students so far. It is 4:34. Time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple team traffic begins now with Alex Williams.
Still watching this crash downtown, 75-85 southbound at I-20. A couple of right lanes are blocked. It's also holding that far right lane, which is the end of the on-ramp from I-20 to 75-85 south. The connector is a mess. About 40 minutes to get there from the 85-400 merge. 20 westbound delays start around Moreland Avenue with 20 east slowing at Lowry Boulevard. All those people trying to ramp onto the both 75-85 north and southbound slow ride. Crash out in Snellville, shutting down Highway 78 eastbound and Grayson Parkway. Police are rerouting you around that. And a jam on 85 up into Suwanee, Kobe Dawkins.
Well, 85 northbound before I-985 exit 113, excuse me. We were dealing with a crash. It just moved off to the right. However, delays remain back to Duluth Highway. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly to mostly cloudy this evening, watching for a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Some may rumble into the metro region after midnight. Lows will be in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, drying out but heating up, high 87. Partly cloudy on Friday with highs in the upper 80s to low 90s.
Storm Tracker radar shows no rain in North Georgia right now. It's 83 in Roswell, 82 in Douglasville, 86 in McDonough. More news at 5 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Hey, get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate and sell your home for maximum value, and that's without the stress of listing your home on the market. Hey, Sean Hannity here. You know, trying to sell your home can be overwhelming. With the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can skip the entire hassle, get an all-cash offer, and close within days. That means no showings, no open houses, and the best part, no stress. Just go to markspain.com and find out what your guaranteed offer will be, and then you can start packing.
Motorcycle riders are a different breed, and they need a different type of attorney. SteelHorseLaw.com.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz, and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no, and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now. 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Home's your happy place, but not when critters bust in, and it happened to me. Mark Aram here for Breda Pest Management. My wife and I were shocked to see two beady little eyes in the basement. So gross. Breda kicked those critters out, and we're still protected with their wildlife guarantee, even if they chew a new entry point. No one else covers that. Breda, they handle bugs and critters. BREDA Pest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Oh, isn't that great? We have a winner. Everybody loves a winner, right?
Not me. I like the losers.
Oh, like Mr. Wonderful calls your former vice president.
Well, she did lose.
She did lose, but according to the panel on CNN, he never should have said that.
Lastly, there's nothing about Kamala Harris that's a loser. Let's just put it.
Oh, I think there is. She lost big time.
She lost an election.
Meanwhile, you say Donald Trump's a loser. There's 16 people at the table. Silence.
He is.
Congratulations to Nancy Smith of Joliet or Juliet, Georgia. Where's Juliet, Georgia?
That's over near Macon. It's the home of the Whistle Stop Cafe, which, if I remember correctly, the Whistle Stop Cafe is in Fried Green Tomatoes.
Well, for heaven's sakes, that's more information than I expected.
I read Fried Green Tomatoes.
And there's half of me that thinks that you're correct. So I'm absolutely.
I might be off on that one, that last part.
Fried Green Tomatoes did have the Whistle Stop Cafe.
Okay, good. Yes, I remember.
And it was written by
Flannery O'Connor.
Actually, that's true. My mom did write it. But
I knew.
Fannie Flagg, who used to be on Match Game
right,
all the time down there.
I never knew what she did for a living.
Well, I don't know that she was a writer back then.
She might have been on Love Boat. Was she an actress?
Yeah. She was an actress. She was one of those people that shows up on Love American Style and game shows.
Or Brett Summers. What did she do?
She
smoked.
She smoked, and she was on Match Game. She was Jack Klugman's wife, and she actually played, I think, the wife for a while on
Odd Couple.
Odd Couple. So she was an actress.
All right.
You want to go right down the panel? Anybody
Yeah,
else?
let's go.
Richard
Who
Dawson.
was Charles's wife?
Charles did not have a wife.
Oh, he didn't.
As far as I know, he did not have a wife.
He just chased Butch Patrick around on
Yeah.
Lidsville.
Yes. And nobody rocked an ascot like Charles Nelson Riley. Let's give credit where credit's
Damon
due.
Wilson did really well.
But he was not.
But he was cool,
It
though.
was older though. That's when he was older now, wasn't it? He didn't wear the ascot.
Nah, he wore
back then.
I remember he got in a fight with Fred. He goes, "It's an ascot."
Okay, I want to
What's
wear
with that napkin on
If
you?
I get one of those necks that I haven't got yet,
Yeah.
some people at a certain age, you just get to that. The gravity takes over your neck fat, and it becomes a thing. And I'm not there yet, but obviously, I'm
You don't have a gobbler yet?
not yet. But when I do, I think I'm gonna rock the ascot.
I feel like if you have an ascot like that, your collar of your shirt has to get real big.
Yeah.
And you have to wear weird patterns.
Large glasses,
Polyester.
Yeah.
that are like half sunglasses, but also half not
and talk
sunglasses.
like this.
Like you look like you're a member of the band Toto.
Toto.
Toto. I didn't want to say Toto because it'd be like there's no D in that. All right. Nancy Smith of Juliet
Oh, yeah, that's
won
right.
tickets to see Bryan Adams on Thursday, November 6th at Gas South Arena. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. Who brought the weed? I'm smelling weed somewhere.
Oh, sorry, man.
Hey. All right. Should we start something?
I think we should do Georgia stuff. The
Oh,
Georgia stuff is
you're
great.
doing this good. You tell me you got some gems
I
in
have
the
got
Georgia
some
stuff?
gems from Georgia.
He ain't playing with ya.
All right, with that kind of endorsement, let's do this.
The research is in. And after careful calculation, it's called Georgia Stuff.
Here it comes.
on my mind.
Playing with you.
By the way, thinking about Georgia and music, people are already getting down on Andre 3000 for this new album. They're not digging his solo career.
Well, the flute album,
Now it's got the
was an
piano
acquired
album.
Was an acquired taste. I'm sure the
He's
piano
an
album.
artiste.
Eventually,
but-
you'll play all the albums at once, and then it'll be a symphony.
That sounds like a
Same
Flame
title,
Your Lips
yeah.
type of thing.
Do it in a parking garage. Yeah, I think that the problem. So there was this some big jazz guy who's a piano guy. I mean, just wrote a scathing review of this. Basically said this is an abomination. It's
George just played it.
It's offensive.
What?
And just that it's like he's just making it up as he goes along. There's no, because he calls them sketches. I think it's cool. I think Andre 3000, do whatever the hell you want. But his fans outside of the piano people are saying that this is the worst piano music they've ever heard in their lives. I haven't heard it yet, so I'm not endorsing that. But his fans are mad because they want old Andre 3000 back. But has it ever occurred to them that it's possible that he's older now and he just doesn't feel like rapping? I mean, like he wants to go into other things?
Yeah, I don't think
He's not allowed.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna be hearing bombs over Baghdad anymore.
Give me what I want.
Give me what I want. But this one jazz guy, I can't remember who he is. Maybe George, you can find the jazz review of. I mean, it was actually a post, I think, on X.
Hey, Daddy-O, I dig it.
Yeah. I mean, he just said that this is a joke and it's a bad. I mean, he just tore it to pieces, and I haven't heard it yet, so I don't know. But he basically said, "Is that his name?"
Yeah.
And supposedly he's not a stuck-up guy. Like he does stuff on the edge. He does avant-garde stuff. He does weird stuff. We have to pull up the.
He calls it complete and utter crap.
Oh, wow.
So he's getting that from the piano people.
Can't a
and
guy
then
just
from
make an album?
Well, yeah, but here's the thing: is he was signed to that's a real label, and when they signed him to 3 solo albums, I don't know if they knew that they were going to get a flute album and then a piano album.
Well,
and
then they don't know who he is.
Well, that's true.
Or he didn't like
That's
the
why-
deal.
Or maybe they did know, or he didn't like the deal.
So he's
and-
doing a Van Morrison thing.
Right. Or he did know, and they do know because he told them, maybe. And they were like, hey, you know what? You're cool, and we want to be a part of your career. I think he's super cool. I watched a YouTube video where he was playing flute on top of the laundromat in L.A. where he lives, and he was doing his laundry, and then he goes up on the roof, and he just sits there with no shoes on and plays flute. Like, hey, that's
cool.
If you're going to find success in life at a relatively young age, and and then you're just going to go, hey, you know what? I'm going to go play my flute on top of the laundromat.
Do it.
I'm with you all the way. I'm totally into that vibe.
This guy does not mince words.
No, he does not. Do you have the? Can you put it in Slack?
Yeah, I just put the story in.
Okay. Well, we were supposed to be doing something else. I'm sorry. I always do this. We open one
Georgia.
thing. And then
Andre 3000 is Georgia? That's
he's,
fine.
Yes, he is. Although he lives in Los Angeles now. He's forsaken us.
But he's from Decatur.
I understand that. But
And he's got the outcast
That's in
roots.
Georgia.
I like
It's
the
Georgia.
So he's older now because my son is 27 now, and he was still at an age where I would see this when Andre 3000 had a Saturday morning cartoon kind of thing where he was a music teacher. It was a cool cartoon. I remember the ones that I wasn't annoyed watching with my children.
Little Bill?
I can't remember. I can't remember what it was called.
Class of 3000.
There you go.
Oh,
I enjoyed
that's what I
watching that.
meant.
I enjoyed watching that. All right, why don't you give us a headline before we break here?
Couple of things here that I want to bring up. Number one, congrats to the Braves for getting back to 500.
Oh,
Everybody was panicking. I said on this show 2 months ago,
You
the
realize
Braves are going to be fine.
It's baseball. They've still got 1,000 games to play.
Still, we're back at 500.
Okay.
It's a brand new season. Congrats to the Braves. Tonight at 8 o'clock, the entire NFL schedule comes out, and already the Falcons are slated to have 5 primetime games. So the NFL thinks we're going to be good next year. So I'm happy about that.
Really next year.
Yeah, but who are
this
they
year? You
playing?
mean next season?
Next season.
Well, they're playing the Bills on Monday night.
Yes,
One
we're going
of
to
them,
play
right?
the Bills on Monday Night Football, Rams on Monday
Everybody's
Night
gonna
Football.
want me to go to that game, and I'm talking about my family. Like, and I don't like rooting for the other team in somebody else's stadium. I just don't get into that. And the other team happens to be my second favorite team, so I would be very happy if the Falcons won a Super Bowl. Not as happy as I'd be if the team I've been rooting for 50 years would do it, but
You've been rooting for the
that-
Falcons for 20 years?
27.
Yeah.
27 years.
I told Jared I'd go if somebody gave me a ticket.
Oh, well, that's really nice.
That's noble, isn't it?
Yeah, you need a loan? What's
Wow.
going on with you?
No,
You can't
I
afford
just-
your own damn ticket
I don't
to
like buying tickets to sporting events.
But you like going.
No, of course.
To see if they just get rid of that middleman thing.
Yeah.
You go to all the games.
It's interesting, though. So we have both the Monday night games at home, 2 Sunday night football games. They're both going to be on the road against the Vikings and the 49ers, and then 1 Thursday night game on the road against the
So
Buccaneers.
they think Penix
And
is for real.
They must, and we have the game in Berlin, too, against the Colts.
So they're thinking that something's going to happen this year. That's good. I mean, maybe they know something.
I hope that the NFL is right about this because I feel like it's 2 years. But
Well,
we'll
if things go the wrong way early in the season, those late season games they can flex out of if they want to. Alex Williams said, yeah, you know that. They can flex out,
Yeah,
right?
flex out of it. Yeah.
Alex Williams says there's a travel advisory on the downtown connector.
Yes, there is. That crash is still in 2 right lanes, 75-85 southbound, right at I-20, also blocking the end of the ramps from I-20 east and westbound to the connector south, 20 westbound, jammed up back before Moreland Avenue. Eastbound delays through West Atlanta, and the connector southbound, those delays are now spilling back onto 400 south, coming out of Buckhead. Think about heading over toward Northside Drive, although that's jammed up as your alternate. In DeKalb County, 20 eastbound, you're slow from 285 to Panola Road, checking on possibly new westbound trouble in the work zone before Wesley Chapel. And heads up for a crash on Covington Highway between South Hairston and Wesley Chapel, blocking a large chunk of that road. How's the ride on I-75 up into Cobb and Cherokee counties, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, 75 northbound, you're sluggish starting at the South 120 loop, getting into Ackworth towards Highway 92. 575 northbound, you're on and off the brakes, getting into Woodstock. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
Are you serious? The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
OMG! Oh my goodness!
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 5.
The WSB 5K day bonus blitz.
On 95.5 WSB.
Well, I bet it is safe to say you are sick and tired of home services companies that don't show up on time, don't get it right, ghost you then when you need them later. Hey, it's Chris Chandler. I don't have to worry about any of that because I only trust TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. TE Certified is a well-oiled machine with the highest level of communication and follow-up. They're on time, friendly, and fully stocked.
TE Certified, we love your home.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
And 6/22/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
This is Scott Slade. Nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. Like me. My doctor saw one lab work number that led to a diagnosis early enough, so I still had options. Now, that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation. Virtual imaging's LD CT whole body scan can be invaluable, giving you time and options for early treatment. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. For a limited time, Virtual Imaging is offering their LDCT body scan for only $995 per scan. That's a $2,495 value. Now, appointments must be scheduled in May. There are a limited number of scans available at this price, so a few minimum requirements may apply. Don't put this off. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
The basketball playoffs are here on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on the action. The app is so simple to use. Just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code ROAM. Get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. That's code ROAM on Prize Picks to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get the $50 bonus credit just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. You don't have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
I heard Jim Rome in there. I like Jim Rome. And his latest face work is finally settling in, so it's
can't really see
not as freakish as it once was.
Can't really see what emotion he's putting on.
No, you can't, but he's good at what he does. Got to give him that. And, he's on that television, I guess. He's on the YouTubes and the television, and he's got to keep that face. Nobody wants to grow old. Nobody wants to see their favorite sports personalities grow old. I think we know that. So he's not doing it for himself. He's doing it for the audience.
When you think of him, do you think of the time Jim Everett punched him in the face?
Was it Jim Rome?
Yeah, Jim Rome kept calling him Chrissy Everett, and he goes, "Say it one more time."
No, I thought. Are you sure that was Jim Rome? Was he with ESPN? Because that happened on ESPN. I thought that was somebody else. I don't mean to, Before we do that, we have very little time.
Yes, it was.
It was Jim Rome. Well, now I think of it as that. He thought it was funny, and
They call him Chrissy Everett, and then he got up and punched him.
Jim Everett was a quarterback at the time. Who is he? Jim Everett.
He was a football player. I don't know if he was a quarterback.
I think it was a quarterback for the Rams or something. I'm pulling that out of the top of my head. Saints. Well, close. They're pretty close. New Orleans and Los Angeles.
It was only 31 years ago.
Hey, I got the league right.
Yeah.
Give me credit. All right, you better throw the Georgia stuff at me because Crane's coming in and we're going to be doing other stuff.
Well, since we're not a sports show, I want to make sure to clarify that because the NHL commissioner says Atlanta is different now. Despite all the past hockey failures, there's a big chance that we get a third hockey team in Atlanta.
Well, first of all, there's a difference here because you could say Atlanta's getting their third, or you could say Metro Atlanta is getting their third.
Depending on where they decide to put it.
Well, isn't the whole idea that it would go up in Gwinnett?
That's a pitch there, but now with what they're doing with the Gulch downtown, it just got announced earlier today, they're going to put a 5,300 seat music venue down there, along with State Farm Arena's right there,
more traffic,
Mercedes-Benz.
more traffic.
There's an idea about bringing a hockey team down there as well because there's so much
God
more
forbid
pull downtown.
Woodstock be able to get cool in the gang. Atlanta's got to put a 5,300 seater in.
Isn't there already a hockey team in Gwinnett?
Yes. Yeah, but they're minor league. This is major league.
Yeah, this.
So I don't think what do they say that thing of the definition of crazy is you do the same thing
Insanity.
over again. Insanity
Expecting
is
different results.
Expecting a different result. I think the same thing is going to happen. Now, if a team comes here and they light it on fire and they go to the Stanley Cup,
got to make the playoffs.
Will you eat your hat?
I won't eat my hat because
it's not digestible.
I just don't know. I don't know. Why do they think things have changed? If we have a lot of,
we're a significantly bigger city than before. A lot more
Soccer has made it.
Soccer has done a great.
But soccer has a huge Hispanic component of the fan base, though, right? So I don't know that you have that like with the NHL. I don't know that.
Me gusta hockey.
You have a lot of people who were thirsting for a soccer team, and they got one, and they support it. And it's not just I'm just saying you had a base, and then a lot of other people are being turned on to soccer. It's a worldwide sport. I don't know. My guess is a third hockey team in Atlanta will end up just like the first two, but I don't know.
They're looking at what the Braves did in with the Battery up in Truist, like over in Cumberland.
But the Braves. They were already a popular team
People
locally.
were mad about the Braves moving up there, but what did they do?
I was so mad.
They put a successful product on the field, and they ended up winning.
You know what? I don't recognize that World Series because it was played in a ballpark that I don't.
The
believe
Marietta
in.
Braves.
Not my Braves. Alex Williams says a crash is still lingering downtown.
If you're heading to the old Braves Stadium, this would really jam you up. It's a crash, 7585 southbound at I-20 exit 247, adjacent to Center Park Stadium there. A couple of right lanes are blocked, very slow back to the 85-400 merge. Think about Northside Drive as an alternate. Now we got a new stall in DeKalb, inbound, left lane knocked out, I-20 westbound past Panola Road, exit 71, slow through Lithonia. Eastbound delays from I-285. What's the story on I-20 west side of town, Kobe Dawkins?
We're on and off the brakes. I-20 westbound starting at I-285, getting past Lee Road. Eastbound rides seeing delays pick up at Thornton Road, getting to the perimeter. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Breda is best at keeping termites out. Complete protection with an unmatched guarantee. Plus, your termite rate is locked in for 10 years.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Attention seniors, do you want more personalized healthcare with more one-on-one time with your doctor? Then join us at the grand opening of Centerwell Marietta. Centerwell offers senior-focused primary care that's centered on you. Celebrate with us Tuesday, May 20th, near the Walmart off Highway 41 here in Marietta from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Enjoy food, music, and more at this free community event. Plus, tour the new doctor's office and meet the care team. For details, visit CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com. That's CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com.
When everyone in the family wants something different from this year's vacation, there's only one thing to do. Plan for Pigeon Forge. From gorgeous mountain views, shows, and shopping for leisure lovers, to coasters, a 200-foot swing, and hundreds more rides for adventure seekers. Plus Dollywood's epic array of fun. There's plenty of variety for the whole family, all in one place. Unique experiences, quality time, and memories for years to come. Find your personal favorites. Plan your getaway at mypigeonforge.com.
When it rains, it pours right into your crawl space, and that creates that musty smell and dangerous mold growth under your house. Meteorologist Christina Edwards here for American Crawl Space Solutions. Make the smell and the water go away and stop the water from coming back. Call American Crawl Space Solutions. They're experts at keeping your crawl space dry and preventing the mold from growing in your home. Give them a call today.
American Crawl Space Solutions. Foundations too.
Beaver Direct certified, providing the highest quality vehicles at the very best prices. Every vehicle undergoes rigorous reconditioning with the industry-leading 12-month, 12,000-mile certified warranty. Visit us at beavertoyotacumming.com and see why everyone loves Beaver Direct.
Cancer upends your life.
We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer. With experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
It's what welcomes people to your home, and first impressions are everything. Your front door. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. We're the experts for every opening in your home. Not only your garage door, but your windows and your front door too. Replace your dated single front door with a gorgeous double door. No matter the size of your entrance, we can customize and install the double doors of your dreams. Make your front door grand. Get started at all4seasonsgarages.com.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 5 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by D. Geller & Son Jewelers. Our top local story, the search for an accused teen killer. WSB Steve Summers reports live what deputies know.
Yeah, Bill, Newton County Sheriff's investigators say 16-year-old Jaden Daniels shot and killed his own stepfather, 41-year-old David Gay, at their Avery Drive home in Covington. Almost 24 hours ago. He then stole Gay's vehicle and drove 8 miles to Denny Dobbs Park, where he abandoned that vehicle. Sheriff's Public Information Officer Caitlin Jett says despite his young age, Daniel is not to be trifled with.
Arrest warrants have been issued for Daniel, who is considered armed and dangerous.
Call 911 if you see him, but do not go up to him. Don't make any contact with this guy. There's no word yet on a motive for the slaying. Reporting live, Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
85 degrees in Atlanta, drying out, heating up tomorrow. When is the next chance for thunderstorms? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. Happening now, crews from Atlanta Watershed Management assessing a sinkhole on Shirley Franklin Boulevard between Rawson Street and Memorial Drive in southwest Atlanta. It's resulted in the closure of 3 northbound lanes. Traffic control measures are in place to get drivers around the work zone. Stay with WSB for updates. Cattle fraud in northeast Georgia. Police in Franklin County are looking for more victims.
So far, 13 people in multiple states have been scammed out of thousands of dollars by Garrett Hill, also known as Jared Smith. He takes video and pictures of cattle that's not his and then sells it online. Once a buyer sends the money,
they don't hear back from it. He won't answer phone calls, texts, emails, anything like that. So he just goes silent once he gets that deposit or that wire transfer.
Chief Harlan Prevost with the Georgia Department of Agriculture says he's locked up in Franklin County on several federal charges. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
A bill signed by Governor Kemp today could help President Trump recover some of the legal costs from his election meddling case in Georgia. The measure compensates for legal fees and wrongful convictions. Today is deadline day for the governor. All items sent to his desk from the recent legislative session must be signed or vetoed by midnight tonight. DeKalb County CEO Lorraine Cochran Johnson wants to set the record straight about water bills.
There are no mass disconnections of water taking place here in DeKalb County.
She says they're limiting disconnections to a select few overdue accounts. The CEO is responding to claims the county is not working with low-income residents to help them pay their water bills. A Georgia senator launches an investigation into companies buying up homes across metro Atlanta.
Senator John Ossoff, along with Dr. Taylor Shelton of Georgia State University, say new research shows that a small number of companies are purchasing single-family homes and rental properties in Atlanta, and that number's on the rise.
These large out-of-state companies have come in and bought up over 70,000 properties across metro Atlanta, accounting now for 30% of the metro region's single-family rental properties.
Senator Ossoff says he's in the early stages of his investigation, but his goal is to inform the public and policymakers about the scope of this housing crisis through the Georgia State Study. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
A mother now faces murder charges after her son died in a hot car last summer. 37-year-old Chrisma White is also charged with child cruelty. Police say the boy left their house and got into the car while the mother was asleep. In court today, a judge did not grant bond. Now, WSB Money Update. Take a close look at what you're paying when you check out at the grocery store. Sherry Preston reports on a new investigation of Kroger from Consumer Reports.
The investigation of Kroger stores found discrepancies between what many sale items were marked on the shelves compared to what people actually paid at checkout. Tags were outdated, most by about 10 days, Consumer Reports says. The result, shoppers ended up paying far more for what they thought were discounted items. Kroger says it's working to address any situation when they intentionally fell short of shoppers' expectations.
It's now 5:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Still watching this crash through downtown, 7585 southbound, right at I-20, exit 247. A couple of right lanes blocked. One of those right lanes is the exit lane that comes off of I-20 onto the connector south, so just even making those delays worse on I-20. And now in the backup, we had that stall, 7585 southbound, right around William Street, exit 249. That's in a center lane. And that water main break, Bill, you were talking about on Central Avenue, is just west of the downtown connector, south of I-20. Pryor Street is a good alternate to get you around that. We've been watching trouble on I-20 into DeKalb County, Kobe Dawkins.
That's correct. 20 westbound just past Panola Road, exit 71. It's a stall, knocks out one left lane, seeing tough delays leading back to Stonecrest. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta. Here's meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Partly to mostly cloudy this evening with a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures falling into the mid-60s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy, drying out, but heating up, high 87. Hotter still for Friday with partly cloudy skies. Daytime highs in the upper 80s, low 90s. Watching for more thunderstorms on Saturday, high 85. Sunday, mostly cloudy, high 83.
It's 85 in Peachtree Corners, 81 in Mableton, 85 in Conyers. More news at 5:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Oh, yes. Big old hour 3 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. And
Why do you say big old hour 3 there?
Well, because hour 3 almost always corresponds with the 5 o'clock hour. And that's where we give you the 5 o'clock hour keyword of the day for the WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. This is where you can get $1,000.
I can get it?
No, you can't because you work here.
Oh.
But those listening that don't work here.
I don't work there. Contributors, contractors?
No, Mr. Crane, sorry. And Autumn Fisher, I know that you
I'm
don't.
not there.
I know you're not here, but you're on the payroll.
I
And
clean
that
the septic tanks.
Yeah, this guy, you're out. You're out. You
No, I
can't-
don't. I work for a private contractor that cleans the septic tanks.
Okay, well, you're on the edge. You're in a gray area. We'll have to send that one to the judges.
Let the lawyers figure it out
That's
after I
right.
cash that sweet check.
This hour. You're an aspirational
Hell yeah.
guy. This hour's keyword is school. If I have to spell the word school for you, then you didn't get much schooling, but I'll go ahead and do it. SCHOOL. And that means go to once you get that down and you understand the word of school, go to the WSB Radio app or WSBRadio.com/cash for your chance to win. Again, that keyword is SCHOOL. School, as in there's a school of fish swimming by, yes?
Or tell your kids not to do the TikTok Chromebook challenge at school.
Right. Wait till you get home. No, don't do it. No, that's not what I meant to say at all. It's just
Do Dad's Apple iMac challenge.
If you're the son of a new defensive coordinator of the Falcons, just have fun with Dad's iPad.
Sure.
And all the information that you get from there.
Yeah, that's what they're looking for on Dad's iPad.
Well, they got Deion Sanders' son's number and turned into something. You got to do that on your own iPad. You don't go on Dad's iPad and do that, for heaven's sakes. Unless you guys share the same
fetish.
Yeah. Let's do this.
It's time for Bill Crane's Brain Drain.
That's wrong, by the way. I think of it as the Bill Crane Brain Drain. So in the future, when we change that sounder, it's the Bill Crane Brain Drain.
Would you like me to make a ticket for you?
Yes. Could you make a ticket and hopefully.
It sounded like a note to me, Jared.
Yeah,
Okay, got it.
A show note.
Usually what I do is I request things like this, and the great thing, Bill Crane, is within 6 to 8 months I usually get it. So
That's better than the federal government.
We have a great turnaround here at WSB.
I feel very, very lucky. Bill Crane?
I know a guy in Qatar. Qatar who can do these
Qatar.
who can do these intro
like
things.
guitar with a
right.
Q.
But they can do them really
Guitar.
quick
I swear to you.
for free.
What is this? What?
Well, they can do these sounders and
Well,
cut
what
it.
are you, third party it out?
AI and overnight, yeah.
Yeah, but the guy will do it for free and send them to me, and then when you retire, you can put them in the Eric von Hessler Museum.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So you got some kind of prince over
Yeah.
there, and he's willing to do all of our sounders. And then when we're
Absolutely.
done, we'll put them in. I'm keeping all of my notes, for the Smithsonian, so that years later people can study just how such a great radio show could exist in a time such as this. Bill Crane, how you feeling? First of all,
Pretty good. Today was a chemo day, so
Yeah.
my voice is a little bit off. Sorry about that.
but
I'm fine.
Okay, well, it's we're gonna because you got the mobile thing.
I
Do
got
you
the chemo to go, and since
Yeah.
I'm starting to get a little follically challenged, I got the Eric.
No, you still look no. You look good.
Not at all.
No, you look better without the hat.
I agree.
I like the hat.
There'll
I
be
mean, I like
time
that
for
without the hat. No, you're looking good. Why is it starting to go out a little bit?
Yeah,
I'm
thinning.
not noticing.
Not receding.
Right.
Thinning. The thatch is getting.
Does
thin.
everybody lose their hair, or do some people
This
not?
chemo is supposedly not supposed to be as brutal on that, but
Yeah.
generally speaking, you have hair loss. I won't get probably the all body
All the way
alopecia
around.
where it
But-
all goes out.
But you
Head
look
is
great.
Thank you.
You look great. With a few different stories with Trump, and I want to do some local stuff first. Marjorie Taylor Greene. I want to ask you about this trend. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's announced that she's not going to run for the Senate. If you listen to Shelley
I already
Winter-
had a check cut and ready to go.
Yeah. If you listen to Shelley Winter's show, you knew that a couple weeks ago because he interviewed her, and she said that she wasn't going to run for the Senate.
Well, then she said she was looking at that and the governor's race, and
Right.
she hasn't ruled out the governor's race yet.
And she hasn't
Bring
ruled
it
out
on.
There you go. There you go. But what's
Keep on
interesting?
chopping, Marjorie.
What's
I'll chop
interesting?
you next time I.
Now listen, you
I
two.
think I won't.
I want you two to be on your best behavior now
Why?
because I have to.
You think I care about what you think?
Well, I don't. Actually, I don't. I don't think that.
Mom always told me to be respectful to a lady, and I'm giving
there
you
go.
half that credit. And
You two just don't like each other. So, Marjorie Taylor Greene, there's a thing that's going on now with contenders from both parties, some for president or for their Senate or whatever in their states. Marjorie Taylor Greene went on the Young Turks, which is a kind of a YouTube show that is very progressive. They're very progressive, and she went on that show. As you know, Gavin Newsom has been doing kind of MAGA type podcast, and who's the guy that the Turning Point USA
Charlie
guy,
Kirk.
Charlie Kirk. He was. So this is kind of a thing. I'm just wondering, as somebody who's been doing consulting with politicians, political parties for a number of years, what do you think of this? Because both sides are doing it. Is it a waste of time? I know that Trump went on Rogan, but I think his audience was almost there anyway. I think Harris would have had a harder time on Rogan. So do you think they get
it's
anything
hard
done?
to know with one appearance, even if it's multiple hours, how much conversion you do. But I always believe in dialogue, just like us being here in person is better than on the phone. When you go to the enemy's, if you will, court.
Yeah.
And you're on their turf and their rules and their microphones, and you show up, that you get points for that.
Sure.
And
yeah.
they're much more likely to treat you well in person than even a nighttime talk show host in his monologue treats guests who won't come to his show. So I think it's of benefit to the process and the system. It gets us more towards thinking, all right, is there a middle ground? Are there some things
Other things that we agree on, yeah.
Like the Bill Maher visit with President Trump at the White House. They had 5 or 6 issues of import, including the border, that they saw somewhat eye to eye on. Not the finer points of getting there, but that we needed to do something. So from a process standpoint, I think it's good. Hard for me to see that it would flip
Right.
a lot of voters in either camp to the other extreme.
But maybe some people in the middle might admire the fact that, this is a person
Certainly
who's not
hits
afraid.
independence, right? And over time, remember how many races in states and localities are decided by 1 or 2 percentage points. So if you do well and you can handle hard questions, a lot of people can't. If you can handle non-script, if you can, appear like Gavin Newsom, pretty good off the cuff.
Yeah.
He's well messaged in his head. He always looks presidential. It works. But if you go on and you're uptight and you need
You try to do it the
teleprompter,
old way.
Yeah. No.
Buttigieg was on
He's slick.
The
He's
flagrant, the Andrew Schultz, like for
He was
3
on
hours.
that?
For 3 hours, apparently it went pretty well. They're going to have to be able to.
He's the best debater they've got in the probable presidential contenders.
But I was just talking about Buttigieg. The thing is, he had the opportunity for 4 years to build a resume that
And he didn't.
And he's not doing what Marco Rubio is doing right now. Marco Rubio is creating commercials in 2028. He was this, he was that, he was part of blah blah blah. And Pete Buttigieg had 4 years where the guy at the top wasn't even really running things. It was the minute he had free reign.
He's
you know?
Kissinger. I hope MAGA land is paying attention.
You mean Rubio?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Rubio has
But he's got to be careful.
surprised some people.
But he's got to be careful.
Oh, he's smart. He's gonna play the loyalty thing to the end. He's not dumb.
If he in any way eclipses it and the Washington media start singing his praises too heavily.
Oh, over Trump, you mean?
Yeah, he'll be.
You're out, little Marco.
There I go.
And those big ears.
You can pick up a Tex-Mex bowl on your way out.
Can a man with earlobes that big ever be
He does
elected
look
president
Bing
of the United
Crosby
States?
and without the glue.
Yeah, he does. You mean sniffing glue? Did Bing
And,
sniff
well,
a lot
Bing,
of glue?
like, he glued his ears back.
Really?
He does, yes.
Well, you can get and
and
Marco,
you can have them stapled back, but he has not had that procedure.
Yeah,
They're rather
just large. Usually, people are older when they get that large.
He also used to wear a little bit longer hair, sometimes covering.
That's what I'm saying. I guess when you're Secretary of State, you can't have the mop top thing going on. I guess, like the four.
No mullets in the Secretary of State's office.
Not allowed.
No.
Oh, one day.
I'm sure
they'll
there's
be there.
official policy.
And
along
Ben
with the
Franklin
dress
had long hair. They
Yeah,
all look
yeah.
like a bunch of hippies.
Yeah, they did have long.
And that was his hair. He didn't wear wigs as most of them did back then.
Yeah. Ben Franklin, people don't realize, I think a lot of people don't realize, he was at the very end of his life and career when the revolution happened and all that. He was kind of like, I don't think he lived till, I think he died in like 93 or something. Right? He didn't live.
He was Secretary of State or a U.S. Ambassador to Paris, probably.
Right.
And lived long enough to see the Constitution signed.
But did he live long enough to see George Washington elected, I wonder? I
We
know
looked this up before. I think the answer is yes. I'll double check.
Okay, but I think he died in like 93 or 94. So before the revolution is when all the, the kite stuff. By the way, he didn't invent electricity. A lot of people seem to think that he
figured out how to channel
how to
it.
harness it,
Yeah.
electricity, bifocals, all those
But he also sort of
phrases.
put us on the path to direct current versus alternate current, AC, which is the Tesla model.
He saw a year of George Washington's presidency.
So he died,
1
what,
year.
94, 93, 94?
He died in
92?
1790. Washington was inaugurated in 1789.
Oh, okay. All right. So
Constitution in 1787.
So 1790. But I always wonder this, Bill Crane. Maybe we're a little off before we break here. Ben Franklin, if all of the founders, if it hadn't worked out and they were rounded up and arrested. Now, many of them were going to be hanged, obviously, because it's considered treason by England. But Ben Franklin was a rock star in the Western world. And a lot of people, before he had the lightning rod, like people's homes
He was a
exploded.
raconteur. That's a good word for the day.
He's a raconteur, but I mean, also, he was
An inventor, an author, a humorist.
Do you believe that they would have killed him?
No, I think he would have found his way back into the good graces of the court of King George.
I think so, because people have to remember, people's houses exploded during thunderstorms and lightnings before Ben Franklin.
Before we started driving that 12-inch piece of steel into the ground.
Exactly. I've always just wondered that. Obviously, most were going to be hanged if they were caught. But I just wondered, Ben Franklin, at the end of his life, a worldwide
With his
Western world
age and his
superstar.
infirmity, he had arthritis. He had a lot of
Yeah.
things going on that weren't good.
Hey, didn't
health-wise.
keep him from having kids all the way up to
No,
the last
and
minute.
he had friends up until the end.
Yes, he did. Did he have like 80 kids? I don't know. That's probably not true.
Well, it depends. Are we talking about the official kids or the unofficial?
All
kids?
together.
Yeah, it was in the dozens.
My goodness gracious.
Prolific.
Yeah. He was prolific.
But
at all
back then,
things.
as you've discussed on the show before, the life expectancy of a child, 12.
Yeah. So
the
if you-
average.
Yeah. So if you had 80, at least
you might have
10 or
20 or 30
15
made
make it through.
We know where Elon Musk gets his inspiration now.
Franklin.
From the founders.
I thought it was more Thomas Jefferson, but
Oh, everybody can find a quote from Thomas Jefferson
no,
that backs up their politics.
That's not what I'm speaking to in terms of his example.
All right. Alex Williams says the downtown connector is looking like a parking lot.
Yeah, you throw a crash into the mix and it doesn't get much better, Eric. And we still are dealing with this one. 7585 southbound at I-20 exit 247. Tow truck on the scene, but they're still holding multiple right lanes, as well as that right lane that ramps off of I-20 onto 7585 south. And the backup, they just cleared a stall from the center lane connector southbound at William Street. Bottom line, you're looking at about 45 minutes out of Buckhead all the way down to I-20. Northside Drive is stacked up as an alternate, but it will get you around that. You can also take 285 southbound, the outer loop on the west side, although that's sluggish, between I-75 and I-20, the West Freeway. And DeKalb still got a stall in the left lane. 20 westbound past Panola Road, exit 71, jamming you up through Lithonia. New trouble on the inner loop of the perimeter, Kobe Dawkins.
And it's 25 eastbound on the exit ramp to I-85 northbound. Crash blocking one center lane. Tough delays back to Georgia 400. And you find no relief from delays until you get into Clarkston, getting past Memorial Drive. And this report is sponsored by Active Pest Control. Termites are one of the most destructive pests. Let Active Pest Control develop a custom termite control plan for your home. For a free quote, visit ActivePestControl.com today. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Topical.
I feel for you if you've been working from home.
Local.
They're suing the landlord. The lawsuit filed in Cobb County Superior
Getting
Court.
you through your
It's
morning.
good stuff for this show. It's good stuff for the radio station.
Mark Arrow.
That's about all I ask.
Mark Arrow.
Tomorrow at 9 a.m.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Are you taking your garage door for granted? Is it squeaking and whining for attention? Overhead Door Company of Atlanta is here with same-day repair service. Experienced technicians have been servicing homeowners in Atlanta since 1935. That's 90 years. Overhead Door Company of Atlanta can handle all your garage door and opener needs. For same-day repair service, schedule online at overheaddooratlanta.com or call 404-USA-DOOR.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group, to discuss one of the biggest blind spots that people face when saving for retirement, and it's a head-scratcher. Chris, how do so many people not know what they're invested in?
That's the biggest flaw that everybody runs into. They think they know what equities they have, they think they know what bonds they have, but they really don't know how those mutual funds or how those index funds are performing in conjunction with one another. So, I would liken this to a big pot of soup, and we're just throwing all the ingredients in the refrigerator in this thing. It's not very good. It's just a mishmash of stuff. And sometimes you like the way it tastes. Sometimes you don't. And when you don't know why. You don't know if you got too much chicken in there or too much vegetables in there or what's going on. And I ask every caller that comes in for an initial consultation, do you know how your portfolio is broken down? And they say, well, I've got, 20 or so options in my 401k, and I just picked 2 of them or 3 of them. I thought I needed some international. I thought I needed some U.S. equities. I thought I needed some bonds. And they're just guessing. So you have to absolutely know what you're invested in, and that's where we will run the 401k portfolio x-ray for you, because that'll break it down. If you're not proficient at investing and don't understand this world, we will walk you through it. Not knowing what you're invested in is a big hindrance to growing and protecting your money. We will run a portfolio x-ray for you and educate you on exactly what's in your portfolio.
Set up a time to get your complimentary portfolio x-ray today. Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858, or book online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 1633546.
With our weather extremes, I wanted windows that would stand the test of time. Hi, it's meteorologist Glenn Burns, and I found them. I love my Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows from North Georgia Replacement Windows. I was blown away. They're energy efficient and incredibly durable. 8 times stronger than vinyl, so they last. Experience the fiberglass difference in your home or in their new Alpharetta showroom.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah!
Rates are up, rates are down. Every day it's something different. If you're curious about what's going on and when the best time will be to buy or refinance your home, call the experts I trust at Myland. This is Scott Slade. There's a reason the guys and gals at Myland are able to close loans that other local banks just can't. The folks at Myland are local and somebody you can trust to make sure you get the best loan for your needs at the best rate. You don't have to take my word for it. Here are lines from some recent testimonials. Myland kept me up to date and informed with every step of the way. They make you feel like you're one of the most important clients they have. MyLand specializes in home financing, and they've seen it all. So whether you want to access the equity in your home to pay for other debts, buy a new home, or anything else, MyLand is the place to call. 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Or online, it's myland.com. Spelled it MILEND. NMLS and Georgia Mortgage License C148769. MyLand's located at 8995 Westside Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. MyLand is an equal housing lender.
All right, Jared Yamamoto.
I want somebody to win $1,000.
Well, what are you saying? I don't?
It sounds like it with that groan over there.
Tell me. So you want me to repeat the WSB 5K a day bonus blitz 5 o'clock keyword?
I think that would be the nice thing to do.
Well, this hour's keyword is school. Hey, there's a silent H in there. Don't forget it. SCHOOL. Unless you say it. School.
This guy spells it with a K.
I do.
Well, there's a
In the back.
if you spell it wrong, you're not going to be able to win
With
by
the
going
backwards S, too.
Well, I don't think that's going to make it through. But you do you,
I'll
you
do
do
my- I'll
you,
do
as
my-
the,
they'll
as
know.
the kids say. Go to the WSB Radio app
Check
or
the listener line. I bet you get about half of them.
That's all right. We're trying to we attract more flies with honey than vinegar.
All right.
Go to the WSB Radio app or WSBRadio.com/cash for your chance to win. Again, that keyword is SCHOOL. Bill Crane is with us. Unfortunately, we kept talking. I kept talking before the last break. We don't have a lot of time here. Yes, Jared.
Gemini says that Ben Franklin only has 3 kids, or only had 3 kids.
So
That's what I asked about the official. He had mistress,
Yes. And
fling,
all
fling.
over the world.
Right.
You know, he
And-
probably
and
had
times waiting in the halls of his hotel in
probably
Paris.
had 25 or 30 kids that are French.
Well, what about all the skeletons in his basement?
Well, he was a scientist. What are you trying to get to? Are you saying he was creepy? He was not creepy. Back in those days, you had to capture rodents, kill them, and then slice them up in your basement if you wanted to learn about
Yeah,
things.
cadavers were not provided by medical
I'll
science.
bet you
or
he knew.
hospitals.
If anybody knew someone at a hospital, that Ben, I'll get you a body. I'll bet you.
Who's a great statesman that you know that wrote an entire book about passing gas?
Ben Franklin. Ben Franklin.
He had a sense of humor, which is part of what I really liked about him.
Yeah, he had all those sayings too,
Mhm.
which I don't know. Maybe he ripped them off from somebody, but we know him as Ben Franklinisms. The one about pound, penny, penny, pound,
Penny
pot
saves,
full of-
penny wise and pound foolish, and a penny saves.
There you go. There you go. And many more.
Thousands.
He came up with the bifocal, for heaven's sakes.
Giving
So-
people headaches every day, everywhere.
I think he was the most modern, that would fit into modern times of the founders. Ben
I'd say
Franklin.
Jefferson would be the second, but those two.
Yeah. Alex Williams, certainly not that stick in the mud Adams. Alex Williams.
For God's sakes, John, sit down.
Alex Williams says there's a crash on 75 in northwest Atlanta.
Yeah, not good here. 75 and northbound. They're knocking out 2 center lanes now. Travel advisory just right at Moores Mill Road, exit 254. Stacked up leaving Midtown. Use Northside Drive as an alternate. And we've still been watching trouble on I-20 into Cab. Kobe Dawkins.
It's 20 westbound just past Panola Road, exit 71. Stall continues to knock out 1 left lane, seeing tough delays back to Lithonia Industrial Boulevard. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any age system, maker, model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Trust is not just a word, it's an experience. When your home needs service, you can trust TE certified electrical, plumbing, heating, and cooling. Hey, it's Chris Chandler. TE is the company I trust to fix any problem once and for all. Their 5-star customer experience means easy online scheduling, friendly technicians, and a lifetime workmanship warranty, so I can just sit back and relax.
TE certified, we love your home.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Whoa! With the Cubs getting older, we need more space, so we're on the hunt for a new house. Our must-haves, a big yard for the Cubs and Scana Energy for natural gas. It won't be easy to choose the perfect house, but Scana has tons of options that'll make it easy to find the perfect natural gas plan. The sooner we find a place, the better. For a limited time, receive a $60 bill credit when you sign up. Call 1-877-GO-SCANA or visit scanaenergy.com/mover60. Limited time offer. Additional terms and conditions apply.
For many of you, it's happening. Your hair's thinning, your crown's disappearing, and maybe hair loss has you feeling your identity is lost altogether. Well, I got good news. It's Advanced Hair's incredible yet simple one-day treatment that starts regrowing your own natural hair the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. It's Mark Aaron back with you. We've all seen the pills and lotions that come with monthly subscriptions. They help retain what you have, but what about regrowing your hair permanently in specific areas? From Advanced Hair's state-of-the-art facilities to their world-class physicians, it's not maybe your hair will regrow, it's guaranteed that your new hair will grow. You decide how much, how thick, and where. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, and I've seen their results, friends. For your free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts, call 470-660-HAIR. That's 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News, weather,
Traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 5:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. Our top local story, a call today for anyone in DeKalb County with outstanding water bills to speak up. It comes as some complain the county is not doing enough to help low-income residents.
The county has started shutting off service to some residents with long overdue bills, but only after multiple attempts to contact them. CEO Lorraine Cochran-Johnson says they have more than $100 million worth of delinquent bills.
Over 600 water customers in DeKalb County have balances on their accounts that exceed $5,000.
But she says they can't help those who won't return a phone call.
If there is a hardship or extenuating and mitigating circumstances, we're here to work with you.
Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
86 degrees in Atlanta. The trend turns dry and hot over the next couple of days. When do thunderstorms return? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. Happening now in Newton County, the search for a teenager accused of killing his stepdad. Deputies are searching for 16-year-old Jaden Daniel.
I don't have any particular areas pinpointed at this time, but we really do want anybody to call 911 immediately if they do see him.
Caitlin Jett with the Newton County Sheriff's Office says the suspect is accused of killing 41-year-old David Gay. The boy fled the scene on Avery Drive in Covington in an SUV belonging to Gay. It was later found at Denny Dobbs Park. Anyone with information should call 911. We posted the suspect's photo at WSBradio.com. The college student facing deportation after being pulled over by police in North Georgia is speaking out. Jimena Arias Cristobal, speaking by phone from an ICE detention center, tells CBS Mornings what scares her the most.
Not being able to stay in the United States after I've lived here my whole entire life.
The teen was arrested on traffic charges, which have since been dropped, but ICE officials say they are moving forward with the deportation process. Georgia's election board votes to create a committee to discuss proposed election rules before they are considered by the full board. Chairman John Verveer says the committee's purpose is to allow all parties to have a voice in upcoming rules. Each of the 5 board members will get to select 2 people to sit on the committee. The committee would vet and soothe out any proposed rule before it comes to the board for a vote. Fewer people are dying from drug overdoses.
Overdose deaths are down nearly 27% here in the U.S., according to just released data from the CDC. Here in Georgia, overdose deaths were down just over 24%. In all, 1,984 people dying from an overdose here in our state. Most of those deaths from fentanyl. The CDC saying despite those overall improvements, overdose remains the leading cause of death for those aged 18 to 44. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is grilled today at a House hearing on advice he would give people about vaccinating their kids for measles.
It seems like I'm being evasive. Yeah. But I don't think people should be taking medical advice from me.
Kennedy has a history of questioning the effectiveness and side effects of vaccine, but has since said vaccines have a critical role in health care. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Atlanta has a new boss.
Theodore S. Hertzberg has been named the new interim United States Attorney for the Northern District of Georgia. Hertzberg served for nearly 10 years as Assistant U.S. Attorney in the Savannah headquarters at the Southern District of Georgia. In 2018, he transferred to the Northern District, where he began prosecuting gun traffickers, dangerous offenders, and child sex predators. Hertzberg's new appointment began on May 13th, but he was sworn in today. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
If you see a lot of emergency vehicles near the Georgia Aquarium this afternoon, it is only a drill.
You will see large vehicles such as SWAT trucks, fire apparatus, as well as ambulances.
Shot of Spikes with Atlanta Police says first responders are conducting a training exercise that looks real. They're training for all kinds of scenarios. There are road closures in the area near the Georgia Aquarium. It is 5:34. This news sponsored by Findlay Roofing. Time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
It is a mess out there this afternoon, Bill. A little bit of better news up into northwest Atlanta. That earlier crash, 75 northbound, Moores Mill Road, exit 254. They blocked all lanes, got it off to the right, but going to take a while for those delays to improve, leaving 17th Street in the Midtown area. Southbound still stacked in from the 85-400 merge all the way down to this crash just below I-20 that's still trying to clear out of the right lanes. It's really impacting those I-20 ramps to 75-85 southbound more so than that. And a new crash in Clarkston. Traffic Trooper Cooper saw it. Now we have it on the jam cam. Second left lane block, 285 southbound, the inner loop at East Ponce. How's the ride toward Gwinnett County, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, 85 northbound, slow rides leaving I-285 getting to Beaver Ruin Road, and those rides free up a bit until you get to Highway 316, and you remain slow getting to I-985. From the Cool Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast. Here's meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Partly to mostly cloudy this evening with a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures falling into the mid-60s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy, drying out, but heating up. High 87. Hotter still for Friday with partly cloudy skies. Daytime highs in the upper 80s, low 90s. Watching for more thunderstorms on Saturday, high 85. Sunday, mostly cloudy, high 83.
It's 82 right now in Sandy Springs, 84 in College Park, and also 84 in Sewanee. More news at 6 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
A lifetime warranty says a lot about a company. Lifetime is a long time. Home Fix It Show host Dave Baker here. I can't think of a better place to have a lifetime warranty than on the roof of your home. It covers everything you own and love. That's why I love Findlay Roofing. Only Findlay Roofing, the roof guys, provide a lifetime leak-free warranty on labor and materials at no additional cost. Nobody else does that. Other roofers charge you more for a lesser warranty. Findlay replaced the roof on my home and over 65,000 other homes locally. They've mastered the roof replacement process with impeccable, high-quality work. They've seen it all, they've replaced it all, and they've warrantied it all. With the Findlay Roofing Lifetime Warranty, you'll never have to worry about your roof ever again. Time to replace your roof? Think of Findlay first. Schedule your free roof analysis. No obligation, no charge at FindlayRoofing.com.
Roof. Motorcycle riders are a different breed and they need a different type of attorney. SteelHorseLaw.com.
That's your garage door. Almost broken, but technically not broken yet. And you know the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So you don't fix it, 'cause it ain't broke. And it gets worse. Until one day, 2 a.m., raining alligators, carload full of dry cleaning, you push the button, and out of nowhere, guess what's broke? Your garage door. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. A garage door that's almost broken can actually do more damage than one that's fully broke. Jammed up parts put an extra strain on the motor, rollers out of whack stress the tracks and the belts. Fix it early while it's still a simple repair and before your car gets locked out or locked in. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come over and make it right. 'Cause if it's almost broke, you fix it.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Let's Bill Crane. Just from where we sit right now, outside of the people who are going to run in the Republican primary to face off against Ossoff on the Senate, just to add, who do you think would give Ossoff the best run? I would assume that right now, because it's not Kemp, Ossoff has an edge.
He does. There are two announced candidates, Buddy Carter from the 1st Congressional District.
Weirdo.
Who is a little bit too MAGA for my taste, but
His
who
commercial
was
is out there.
Six terms in Congress, formerly chief of staff to Jack Kingston, who was his predecessor, who chaired the House Appropriations Committee and ran for the Senate and lost in a primary.
Don't forget the most important thing with Buddy Carter. He introduced a bill to
red, white, and blue.
To change the name of Greenland to red, white, and blue land.
That'll
I don't know about you, but that says my vote is off the table forever.
So,
and his real name is Earl, too.
Yeah, well, there's that.
There are not too many buddies who are actually birth certificated buddy. John King, our insurance commissioner, the first Hispanic man elected statewide, not appointed first, an Army veteran, a very affable, approachable, gregarious guy.
He's a doctor? Huh? No. He's been on Shelley's show. I met him. He's a very nice guy.
Bilingual, big, hugger. Kind of thing. And he is going to probably have, in the field as it stands today, more of the governor's support and the governor's political action committee. Buddy Carter is going to have the Republican Congressional Committee if no other members of the Congress get in. But he's regional. His name ID is really 2 or 3 congressional districts.
Savannah,
an insider.
Right?
Yeah, probably as far north as Macon because those districts often work together. The two candidates who I still think may get in, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, as we talked about, isn't, that I still think have a pretty good shot at getting in and probably have to have a discussion with Donald Trump because he has thoughts on this seat, are Doug Collins, who heads the VA now, who Donald Trump wanted when Johnny Isakson passed away and there was an interim seat appointment and then a special election. Brian Kemp did not appoint, which began that rift.
Mm-hmm.
He appointed Kelly Loeffler, who now chairs the U.S. Small Business Administration. Either of those two will get in the race. I don't know which, and I don't know how long.
You're saying Loeffler again? She has
Loeffler. She can self-finance. She and her husband are billionaires.
Can she be herself this time?
But if she were to run this time, I think we'd actually see Kelly Loeffler.
Right.
Good.
Which we really didn't so much as a candidate the first time.
I'm a jean jacket businesswoman.
She is a farmer's daughter. She was in 4-H. She knew the governor.
But her husband's like a gazillionaire.
Yeah, Jeff Sprecher, who owns Intercontinental Exchange and has built out quite a franchise. So, but one of the two of them will get in. Doug Collins will have, if he does well as the VA director for 6 months or a year, a following voters. There's a huge block of military retirees here, and probably Donald Trump support. So the field's not done yet. Of those two,
and Trump could very quickly maybe do 2 or 3 things for veterans through that office
correct, sir.
Pump him
now,
up. Thank you.
Now you understand how it all works.
Absolutely.
So John King is a good, strong, affable statewide candidate, but not at the level of governor yet, in my opinion. And Buddy Carter is more of a MAGA candidate. So I don't see either of those right now easily beating John Ossoff. Possible.
Yeah, I think I'm not acting like Ossoff's not beatable.
No, but
I think that
he's vulnerable. But it's harder to unseat an incumbent senator, no matter what you want to say or think.
Well, Shelley talks about this a lot. Beyond the kind of like faraway stare that Ossoff always has, he does good constituent.
He does
work.
great constituent services, particularly with veterans and senior citizens.
Right.
But
and the post office stuff, and
he's angered some of his base constituency, which is why if you get his direct mail or you look at his website or what he's saying now, it's very well aimed at the progressive wing of the party, not the center, which is what he talks about when you see him in person.
Right. And by the time the election comes around, he will be tacking back to this.
Correct.
This is the time.
He's not going to have primary opposition. This is about raising money and strengthening the base's support.
Right. And now he might do better if he's up against a MAGA candidate, because that's going to bring all the money from the anti-Trump stuff all in
Carter.
that. Yeah.
He would have really loved Marjorie Taylor Greene. And Congressman Rich McCormick, 6th District, and Congressman Mike Collins, 10th District, who are also talking about it. I'm not sure if either one of them will enter the race at this point, are even less well known than Congressman Carter.
And who's the next governor going to be? If you had to put $1,000 right now on a bet,
I'd put 10 on it, but I won't say because I don't.
You don't want to
It'll be a Republican, and of the two, it'll be one of those two that are running now. I have a preference, which I won't state, and I have a.
What would Marjorie Taylor Greene do to that primary if she jumped in?
She would change the outcome because she would
I'd
draw
win
votes
it.
away.
Okay, wow.
That's not what we would get, but it would get her out of Congress, and
Yeah.
she would change the outcome because she would split the MAGA vote.
Oh, so it'd actually be better for
The other person that I haven't named.
Okay, that you haven't named. Oh, so you got it all worked out. I see.
Well,
I
I haven't called one wrong here in a while. I've called one presidential race wrong in a while, but
You're calling something wrong.
Bliss.
Should I call you for lunch? We have breaks of bread and break this up, Marjorie?
I really feel.
I'll break bread with
All right.
you, but that doesn't mean I'll broker a peace dealer.
She cares about people in her 14th
Maybe
district. That's
good
what it
deals
is.
on my gutters on my Taylor gutters on the house.
I got some carpet deals I might be able to get you in on, but that's all.
She knows a few people.
Dalton's very close to my district.
Well, I think it's still part of the
It's
district.
part of the part of your district, but I know you don't get up there a lot.
Stop
She
ignoring
lives in
the
Rome.
carpet
That's right.
people.
I knew that.
She lives in Rome, though.
Yeah, that's a,
just
one of those,
above you on 75.
Well, you don't
but
got to
can cut
blow
back
my
over
spot like
121.
that, Jared.
Yeah,
I'm
what
just-
are you trying to give her the Barbara Streisand effect?
Not at all.
We're not going to say that her address is 32.
There's some
Hey!
good downtown. There's a brick street in Dalton that has a number of charming restaurants. We can meet there for lunch.
That's right. You
They
guys
all know me.
I'm sure
Well,
they
they know
do.
Bill Crane too. You know, he's been around
Well,
quite a while.
they don't have very
You're
much
the
good to say
newcomer.
about him.
What's that?
They don't got much good to say about him.
Oh,
Maybe
Bill.
not, but they do carry the column up that way.
Yeah. Don't you get his column?
And the Rome
One
News-
man's opinion?
The Rome radio station that doesn't exactly love you. They have me on once a week.
Oh, do you? You do a little, how's that Rome radio going? I'm looking for
A
something.
little early in the morning, but it's a good place to start a career. There are
How about the end
a lot
one?
of WSB folks.
They're far enough out of the demo, you could just go there.
Yeah, I'll just go there
A
and
lot of
start a whole new
doctors. A lot
thing.
of, it's a good, strong radio market because for a while they didn't get Atlanta television until
Oh.
HD got here.
Really?
The mountains.
Wow.
And
I'll
they
get
got
Doc-
it, but it's a little spot.
Me and Dr. Joe will be a package deal. We'll revolutionize Rome radio.
When in Rome.
That's what I'm talking about. It's a built-in audience. right
Marjorie's going to knock those mountains down for you to make sure
That's
that you get
right.
that signal straight.
No, I don't
straight
know.
there.
I don't know
I'll
if
do
Marge-
what I got to do.
I don't know if Marjorie likes the show. I don't know if she likes to, sometimes we're critical. Sometimes I agree with you on some things, and it freaks me out.
Right.
It is true.
That's when you're being smart.
Well, okay, that's the way some people would see it. Alex Williams,
Yeah.
now
I'll go to Alex.
we're going to traffic. All right.
Go to traffic.
Thank you,
I'm
Marjorie.
sure there's a mattress in a lane somewhere.
Okay, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I appreciate it. Alex Williams says there's a crash on 285 in Clarkston.
Fire truck across the 3 left lanes with this one, 285 southbound, the Interloop East Ponds exit 40. They just got the cars off to the right. I see them picking up their cones, so hopefully we'll get some lanes open here, but it's added to the brake lights coming out of Dorville and Tucker down to Highway 78, the Stone Mountain Freeway. Also on Highway 78 eastbound, we just picked up new trouble at Ross Road. That's in the left lane. And out in Snellville, Highway 78 eastbound crash just cleared at Grayson Parkway. Some better news downtown, Kobe Dawkins?
Oh, yeah. 7585 southbound, right at I-20, exit 247. Crash now cleared. However, tough delays remain past the downtown merge, and northbound rides are slow as well. Just volume, though, starting from Highway 166, getting past Spring Street. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
Online,
on the app,
where you get your news.
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday. Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is tomorrow morning at 8
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
on 95.5 WSB.
Hey y'all, Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care, and I'm not going to cry in this commercial, I hope. As many of you know, I lost both my parents recently, but I am so thankful they were able to finish their lives at home where they wanted to be. It's all because of the incredible caregivers who came to see them every day. I am so grateful to Four Seasons Home Care. This is a real family-owned company that vets and hires every single one of their caregiving specialists. They don't have contractors. They're not some national corporation. They are simply the best here in Georgia. And a lot of you have asked me about my journey and if home care is right for your aging parents. I'll tell you what I tell them. Call Four Seasons Home Care and just start the conversation. It's a 100% free call that can change everything. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
Listen up. because women have long waited for the world to recognize the importance of our health.
Northside Hospital goes beyond "we hear you" to "we're out here with you," because women deserve more than open ears.
They deserve open doors, and 1 ounce of action is worth 1,000 words.
Northside is rolling up our sleeves and getting to work for you.
This is a house call. Heard. Learn more at northside.com/heard.
When everyone in the family wants something different from this year's vacation, there's only one thing to do. Plan for Pigeon Forge. From gorgeous mountain views, shows, and shopping for leisure lovers to coasters, a 200-foot swing, and hundreds more rides for adventure seekers. Plus Dollywood's epic array of fun. There's plenty of variety for the whole family, all in one place. Unique experiences, quality time, and memories for years to come. Find your personal favorites. Plan your getaway at mypigeonforge.com.
For garage door repair, Metro Atlanta calls the real overhead door company of Atlanta. They're the ones with the red ribbon. They're the ones who've been here since 1935. Others try to copy the name but cannot match the level of service. The red ribbon means 85 years of trust and loyalty from Metro Atlanta homeowners. Always look for the red ribbon. It means you got the genuine, the original overhead door company of Atlanta. Just call 404 USA Door.
Attention seniors, do you want more personalized healthcare with more one-on-one time with your doctor? Then join us at the grand opening of CenterWell Marietta. CenterWell offers senior-focused primary care that's centered on you. Celebrate with us Tuesday, May 20th, near the Walmart off Highway 41 here in Marietta from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Enjoy food, music, and more at this free community event. Plus, tour the new doctor's office and meet the care team. For details, visit CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com. That's CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com.
The basketball playoffs are here on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on the action. The app is so simple to use. Just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code ROAM. Get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. That's code ROAM on Prize Picks to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get the $50 bonus credit just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
All right, Jared Yamamoto, if that is your real name. How about another politically charged story for Bill Crane?
Is it okay if it's from CNN?
Whatever happened to my WSB?
I knew it. This is what's happened to every time.
Progressive.
Take it over.
Mission creep.
Mm-hmm. I guess I'll let it go by, but don't think you're not letting everybody down.
well, we have a new piece that came out of Jake Tapper's book. Apparently, Biden didn't recognize George Clooney at a 2024 fundraiser.
Well, it's probably the one when Clooney actually then wrote the...
It was, and it was the largest fundraiser they had of a single event. You know, I'm often mistaken for George Clooney. But,
yes, I know. It's
but Joe Biden did remember me the last time I saw him, but that was 1988.
Oh, well, he probably wouldn't
little
now.
bit, yeah, a little bit. No, he wouldn't now.
He wouldn't now. But, yeah, you know, the whole thing about this, first of all, George Clooney was willing to not write that op-ed had Biden done well in the debate. So the cover-up here is, to me, the real story. Jake Tapper releasing this book, acting like, oh my goodness, I had no idea any of this was going on, when everyone in America could plainly see what was going on. And I'm sure there was a point very early on in this where Jake Tapper was pointing to people who were saying things along these lines and, you know, kind of implying that they were wackadoos.
So, it will sell, like the latest Woodward Bernstein or
Sure.
Woodward book, but mostly it will sell because people will go, I told you.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a good idea.
Well, I like the book fight, and
there's 7 or 8 of them coming out.
The book fight it's fun to see what, you know, how, you know what happened, but it's fun to see what was going on behind the scenes. One of the big things in this one that seems to be coming out of the headlines, unlike Fight, where you get a little bit of this, apparently the Harris staffers just go off on Biden and just call him names
The
and
staff
blame
hated
him.
each other
Yeah.
before the campaign, and it only got worse because they blended them. So
Mm-hmm.
they kind of forced a Brady marriage on the two campaigns
Right.
with no clear who's in charge here, which is part of how the budget just went through the roof.
And the whole, also by the, you got to give them a little bit of a break. They had a 3-month campaign.
Not
Three-
quite 4 months.
Yeah, so I mean, it was kind
Not
of
6, as the
had to-
president said on the View last week.
had to be put together pretty quickly, but they stumbled quite a bit. The thing that came out of the book Fight for me, which is not to go after him, for just to say what politics really is that behind the scenes, Barack Obama, first black president of the United States, was doing everything he could in his power to keep Kamala Harris from becoming the nominee. He did not want her to become the nominee. When she became the nominee and they started to see that they were losing black men, then Barack Obama went out and gave speeches admonishing black men for not supporting a black woman, when in reality, before she got the nomination, he was working tirelessly as the first black president, a man, to keep her from becoming the nominee. And I'm not saying that that's anything. I just want people to focus on stories like that so they can understand what this is all about.
Other than the mini primary system, do either of these books say who they wanted? Because
He wanted a mini primary system. He did have, I think he had favorites, but the thing that comes out of it is he did not want her to be the nominee because he didn't think that she could win.
could win. Yeah.
Could win. She hadn't really done anything.
She hadn't been vetted.
She had been vetted by running once before and not
Right,
making
and-
it to Iowa.
Correct.
And he just thought she didn't have a story, and people were just going to look at her like, well, she's only there because the guy in front of her fell down. And he was right about that. But the hypocrisy of then going and yelling at other black men and saying that they're not supporting a black woman when he was working behind, again,
Well,
not
it didn't work. I mean,
Right.
for the first time in about 40 years,
Right.
African American males took a serious look, and many of them, about 20%, walked over and voted GOP.
But my point is more, I want people to understand what politics really is. They're playing you. They're playing you. So he never believed that when he was telling other black men that they were wrong not to support her, he was doing everything he could to keep her off the ticket.
Watch with a discerning eye and read my column.
There you go. One man's opinion. And that one man is Bill Crane. And Crane, CSI Crane.
Yep, hadn't changed since last week.
There you go. But my brain, swirls.
No, mine too.
All right, man. Good luck.
Take
we know
care.
this man was taking chemotherapy the whole hour that he just drained his brain. He drained his brain and
No
filled
extra
his body.
charge for the chemo to go.
Thank you, sir.
You're
You
welcome.
give and you give and you give.
I try.
Have a good week, man.
You too.
Alex Williams says 285 is jammed between Doraville and Clarkston.
All due to this crash, 285 southbound, the Interloop East Ponce exit 40. They finally have it off to the right, but like you said, Eric, it's cooked the ride back to Peachtree Boulevard there in Doraville. Also, our trouble spots, Highway 78 eastbound at Ross Road, and also out in Snellville at Grayson Parkway have all cleared up. And we had a crash 316 eastbound in Lawrenceville right around Duluth Highway. That as well has cleared. We're watching the ride on Georgia 400 with Kobe Dawkins.
And northbound rides remain slow, leaving I-285 getting past the North Springs MARTA station, and then you're on and off the brakes getting into Alpharetta. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Preparing to sell your home can be costly and time-consuming. Skip the hassles of a traditional home sale and sell your home stress-free with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Say goodbye to the stress that comes with showings, open houses, and costly home repairs. My friends at Mark Spain Real Estate will sell your home fast and for maximum value. With over 12,500 five-star reviews, trust the top real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home for top dollar. Go to markspain.com CertaPro.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
With thousands of 5-star reviews, it's no wonder CertaPro Painters is Greater Atlanta's most preferred painting company. Hear from one of their happy customers.
We wanted to add some color to our walls, so we hired CertaPro. We had built-in shelves that were supposed to be ready to paint when they got there, which they were not. CertaPro spent hours caulking and sanding to make sure the job was done right. It's rare to find a crew with integrity who really take pride in their work.
When choosing a painting professional, choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
This is Scott Slade. Nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. Like me. My doctor saw one lab work number that led to a diagnosis early enough, so I still had options. That's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation. Virtual imaging's LD CT whole body scan can be invaluable, giving you time and options for early treatment. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. For a limited time, Virtual Imaging is offering their LDCT body scan for only $995 per scan. That's a $2,495 value. Now, appointments must be scheduled in May. There are a limited number of scans available at this price, so a few minimum requirements may apply. Don't put this off. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
News is temporary, but your financial plan shouldn't be. I'm Wes Moss, and at Capital Investment Advisors, we're focused on helping retirees invest for income. This means building and managing a portfolio that delivers a steady stream of income, regardless of the scary headlines of the day. If you're ready to shift your focus from the headlines to your core pursuits in retirement, reach out to our team at yourwealth.com. That's YOUR wealth.com.
You know what really stinks about having your house over a crawl space other than the smell of dead rodents, water intrusion, and mold? Nothing. Dave Baker here. Now is the season to let AquaGuard Foundation Solutions save your crawl space from bad things down there and make the air you breathe in your home healthier with a crawl space encapsulation. Simply set up a free inspection at aquaguard.net. AquaGuard Foundation Solutions. There's a reason they're the trusted local experts. Say the name.
AquaGuard. WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk. News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 6 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Mark Spain Real Estate. Our top local story, money to help make it easier to get around in Metro Atlanta without your car. The Atlanta Regional Commission is helping several communities evolve their planning. Here's a report all new at 6 o'clock.
The 6 livable community grants are aimed at helping areas become more walkable and bikeable, among other things, explains the Atlanta Regional Commission's Paul Donsky.
Plan for their futures to be more vibrant and community oriented. So it's not just around how to drive through them, but how to create places that you want to spend a time in walking around.
For example, the city of Kennesaw gets money for a study on the Cobb Parkway commercial corridor, while Avondale Estates will update their master plan, and Conyers is looking to improve their Old Town area. Michelle Wright, 95.5 WSB.
85 degrees in Atlanta, dry and hot to end the week. Will rain chances return for the weekend? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. Daylight running out for Newton County Sheriff's deputies who are on the lookout for an alleged teen killer. WSB Steve Summers reports live with who the teen killed and where you can get a look at him.
Yeah, Bill, it's been almost 24 hours now since 16-year-old Jaden Daniel allegedly shot and killed his 41-year-old stepfather, David Gay. After the shooting at their Avery Drive home in Covington, investigators say Daniel drove off in Gay's vehicle.
The vehicle was later located by investigators at Denny Dobbs Park, but Daniel was not in the area.
Sheriff's Public Information Officer Caitlin Jett says call 911 if you see Daniel, but do not under any circumstances approach him. You can see photos of this guy on our website, WSBradio.com. Reporting live, Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
Happening now, crews from Atlanta Watershed Management are assessing a sinkhole on Shirley Franklin Boulevard between Rawson Street and Memorial Drive in southwest Atlanta. It's resulted in the closure of 3 northbound lanes. Traffic control measures are in place to get drivers around the work zone. DeKalb County CEO responds to claims the county is not working with low-income residents to help them pay their water bills. Lorraine Cochran Catherine Johnson says the county is owed more than $100 million from delinquent bills.
We cannot help you if you do not present yourself and you do not substantiate your condition.
She says they have started disconnecting some customer service, but only after multiple attempts to contact them about their overdue bill. Earlier this year, the county voted to raise rates by 10% annually over the next decade. A cattle fraud scam in Northeast Georgia, and the Department of Agriculture is looking for more victims.
Garrett Hill, a.k.a. Jared Smith, is sitting behind bars in Franklin County for selling cattle that wasn't his.
What he's doing is actually going around and taking pictures of other people's cattle or a video and posing those cattle as his and putting it online.
Chief Harlan Prevost with the Georgia Department of Agriculture says once the buyer puts down the money, Hill disappears. So far, they know of 13 victims in several states, most of them here in Georgia. They believe that there are more. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
A bill signed by Governor Kemp today could help President Trump recover some of the legal costs from his election meddling case in Georgia. The measure compensates for legal fees and wrongful convictions. Today is the deadline for the governor. All items sent to his desk from the recent legislative session must be signed or vetoed by midnight tonight. Senator John Ossoff says he worries out-of-state buyers snatching up homes are making them unaffordable for many people here in Metro Atlanta.
A young family with a new child who wants to purchase their first home now can't afford it, and that those who are renting face higher and higher rents and more mistreatment from these large out-of-state corporate landlords.
A new study from Georgia State University finds Paulding and Henry counties are two areas most impacted by the number of homes being swallowed up by out-of-state landlords. Ossoff is launching an investigation into these owners and how they are treating renters. It is now 6:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Been a tough one on the inner loop today, 285 southbound. This crash, plenty of flashing lights with it. The inner loop right at East Ponce, exit 40 there in Clarkson. It's in the Gore right there at the exit ramp. They're blocking part of the exit ramp, but nonetheless, 285 east and south stacks in pretty heavy back at Beaufort Highway. If you're traveling the outer loop, 285 westbound, delays find you at Ashford Dunwoody over to Roswell Road in Sandy Springs, and the brake lights start to creep up again once you approach New Northside Powers Ferry over there, approaching I-75 and Truist Park in Cobb. You'll stay on and off the brakes southbound through Smyrna Vinings down to I-20, the West Freeway. How are things looking through downtown, Kobe Dawkins?
Very slow, 75-85 northbound. Those delays start as you leave Langford Parkway, getting past Spring Street. Southbound rides, it's about a 40-minute drive, leaving Lennox Road in Buckhead, getting to I-20. And also in downtown, to avoid that sinkhole repair on Shirley Franklin Boulevard, you can avoid it by taking Pryor Street as an alternate. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta. Here's meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Partly to mostly cloudy this evening with a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures falling into the mid-60s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy, drying out, but heating up, high 87. Hotter still for Friday with partly cloudy skies, daytime highs in the upper 80s, low 90s. Watching for more thunderstorms on Saturday, high 85. Sunday, mostly cloudy, high 83.
No rain right now on Storm Tracker radar. It's 83 in Decula, 83 in Peachtree City, and 81 in Chamblee. More news at 6:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
All right, here we go, Caiaccio. Hour 4 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. I don't know. Am I reading too much into it? Like CNN? Now, because Trump dropped the sanctions on Syria, and he met with the new leader who did what we couldn't get done for how long? How long were we in Syria?
Years.
Bombing everything.
Since President Obama.
Yeah, and we couldn't get rid of Assad. This guy did, and he comes from a fighting background. Now he has said, "That's behind me. I want to be a leader now. I'm gonna, I don't have a problem with the West. I want to work with the West." And we don't know. It's very early on. Maybe he's playing us. Maybe he's not. And Trump is like, "Well, I'm gonna give him an opportunity. I'm going to drop the sanctions. We're going to see if we can get this done." And now all of a sudden CNN, now it's really important to them that former jihadist. That wasn't important.
A year ago, he's a freedom fighter.
Yeah. It's like it is really something else. But maybe we're reading into it. I mean, I can't say he wasn't. He was.
It sounds like honest reporting to me here.
Is that what it is?
That's what it feels like to me.
Just straight poop, as my mother used to say. I think she used to. She used to say other things too. It's not the only thing she used to say. She used to say, "Hey, if you have a somebody who's on your show that appears a few times a week and they're waiting, don't make them wait." That's what my mother used to say.
Good lesson.
Yeah, don't make them wait. So let's do this.
He's a misanthrope. He has a dark heart, and he needs a good psychiatrist. It's Greg Russ with stories from Studio B1.
Wednesday edition.
Oh, yeah. You know, I don't know if you've ever heard this before, Greg, but some people refer to this as hump day. Hump day.
Yeah.
Those are the
I've heard
funny
it.
people. Those are the funny people in the office. They say that.
Yeah, I can't compete with them, so when they say it, I just let them have the spotlight.
How's your hump day going?
It's fine.
Got a cool hat on. You
Yeah.
can't see it.
What's the hat? What's he got? Did you get that at the Mets game?
Yeah, I have a Mets hat. I betrayed
boy.
the Braves.
Man, oh man, you really you haven't lived here in a long time, so
Yeah, over 17 years, but I was a Braves fan the whole time. But I don't know something about this season. Even if they win the World Series, I'll still root for them. But 0-7 start. I know this got to 500.
yeah.
Who cares?
Well, you are you're really a fair weather fan. Right? If they'd started 7-0, I'd be right with them. I mean, you
I'm
really
not.
are.
It's funny because let's say I did become a full-time Mets fan. When's the last time the Mets won the World Series? 86.
Yeah, by the way,
It's
you used
been
to
a few
hate
times.
the Mets. You used to
The
hate.
Mets are a more tortured fan base than us.
Greg Russ used to hate the Mets with a vengeance.
My point is
Yes.
that the Mets would be a worse team to be a fan of, but because I don't have the history with the Mets,
Yeah.
they've stunk for a long time. Yeah, they're in first place right now. They've been to the World Series a few times. They had a run last year. Because I haven't been a fan for that long, it doesn't matter.
I
The
kind of-
Braves, I don't know.
they won the World Series a few years ago.
I get it, but it's constantly these increased.
I don't understand this.
The one team to rival the Dodgers this year, it'll be the Braves. Underperformed last year. Sure, there were injuries. Who cares?
Yeah,
You could've done
last
something
year-
better at the trade deadline. Didn't even try.
When did they win? 2019?
2021 is when we won. And the
Oh my goodness, that's only a couple years ago. And that's not enough for you?
we should have won in 2023 in Greg's defense. We had the best team in baseball that year.
Well,
we
it doesn't
completely
work that way.
underperformed and we
That's-
lost.
Look at the NBA this year. Aren't the two best teams? I mean,
The
one of them
Cavs
just
got
Cavs
knocked
are
out
gone,
last night, yeah.
and then the who else is? Oh, the Celtics. The Celtics come back.
Maybe tonight. Maybe if the Knicks win tonight. Knicks are up 3-1.
I'm excited to see.
Okay, so who has the best team? That's not what sports is about. Otherwise, we would just calculate it out and we would have a winner. That's why they play
Done
the
with the
games.
abuse. Done
think-
with the abuse.
I think
as
that-
Jared said, Phillies 2 years in a row knocking the Braves out, and me having to see my cousin
not-
dancing around, rubbing it in my face.
It's not abuse if you just won the World Series 3 seasons
Yeah,
ago.
we've got the joke. Yeah, we
4
have the
seasons.
pride. We have the pride now, and I think that this season, what's going to be interesting is as the Braves get healthier, as I predicted a couple of months ago. By the way,
All right, stop.
we're going to be just fine. Thank you, appreciate that. Thank you.
Those are his own hands.
Yes, this
Patting
team,
himself on the back.
This team is going to get healthy, and they're going to be dangerous. And Drake Baldwin is the truth. That
You
guy
know
is.
what-
That guy's
you
a
know
beast.
what? You know what he
They're gonna
told
all
me.
carry guns.
Yeah, this could be a. Hey, if they say knives, I say
That's
knives.
right.
They
It's
say
not in
guns.
the rule book.
Yep. And by the way,
It's
he
not.
won't. Jared
There
Yamamoto,
you
always sunshiny on the air, will not finish, as he said to me. But they're going to run into the Dodgers.
That's the problem. The Dodgers. I mean, it would be a complete disappointment for anybody that's a Dodgers fan for them not to win this year, considering how much money they
They're
spent.
only a half game up on the
On
Padres,
team.
though.
Yeah. So I mean, it just shows you that money can't buy everything.
Oh,
But
wait, hold on. I'm looking at the research here. Any second spent talking about baseball is losing audience. That's what it says.
Oh, that's right. It's
But
code-
you know what?
code
I'm
7.
a rebel.
I don't even think that's true.
I don't
Atlanta
think it's
loves
true.
the Braves. Out of all of the professional sports in that city, the Braves have a
The
lot of
Braves
support.
and the Bulldogs. But if they tune in and some guy is talking about how he's a Mets fan now because it's not good enough that his favorite team up to that point just won the World Series a few seasons ago, that seems a little ridiculous to me.
It's not that deep. I went to the Mets game on Monday and I decided to buy a hat. So I put
That's
it
right.
on just because I wanted to spark this
you're
conversation.
gaslighting us is what you're doing. That's what you're
I mean,
doing.
buying a hat was a big deal. If I had never had a Braves allegiance, I lived in New York, I would be a Mets fan because of the blue collar team.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tim.
No, that's
The
okay.
Yankees,
No, that's the Yankees.
The
are
Yankees haven't won the World Series since 2009.
But the Yankees
That is true.
the Mets have always been the working class team because the Yankees have been around longer. So the more elite, institutional, the Mets. That's the guy on the garbage route. That's the guy that's
Let's go to Queens and watch the Mets lose.
the guy maybe who runs the bodega down the street. That's the Mets fan.
Or the gal.
Or the gal. Did they let ladies do that now?
What?
I think women also deserve to carry garbage around.
Absolutely.
Bravo,
they did.
Autumn.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you. She's
Brava.
Excuse me. Brava.
She's a strong woman, don't you think?
Yeah.
Autumn
I am.
Fisher. She's
she?
a very.
I don't need your approval.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying you do need my approval. I'm just saying my
Good.
opinion. If
'Cause I
somebody was to ask me,
You don't
I
need
would
a
say
strong splainer.
she's a very strong woman.
Yeah. And you don't need to
She knows
bounce it off somebody else to get confirmation.
I agree with you. She is a strong woman.
Yeah. You know what?
It's an inspiration to me
I
as a
thought
little
about it.
girl.
Yeah.
She really inspires me.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I think is so great is that so many little girls come up to me and they say, I never thought that I could make a little bit of money working in radio.
Now I know I can make a
now
little
I
bit
know
of money.
that it can be
I
done.
can work
and
from
you'll
my
need 3
closet.
other jobs to sustain your lifestyle.
You are such an inspiration to so
I'm
many.
sorry.
So many. I mean, you know what? Let's just throw STEM out of school and get Autumn Fisher. Let's just get her
Yeah.
and just teach about that one life story of one woman who recognized that it was possible that she too could have
That's right.
a job that, get a little bit of money and work
Yeah.
a few other jobs
She deserves
and make it work.
She deserves a statue there in Baltimore. A statue
I
of Autumn
do.
Fisher.
Yes, you do. You know what? If they
I
have a
want it to be
statue,
offensive.
if they have a statue, I want to then if they build, you get the statue built, you get it put up somewhere in Baltimore, and then I will buy the ticket on the Amazon space rocket, and it will be the first female statue in space.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Bravo.
you'll take the statue to space? It's not even, I don't get to go.
No, you don't get to go.
It's
The
just a
statue is the
statue.
star.
That'd be fun to start just creating some weird
Yeah.
records to break. Like, this is the first statue
Yeah.
in space. Okay.
Do you want to
It's
be like?
historic.
Will your statue be with attitude? Like your hands are on your hips, and you're like going,
Yeah.
Come on,
But
it's on.
like one hip is out,
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Oh, you didn't expect this, did
Everyone
you?
one
down
arm
on her.
akimbo.
Huh,
Ow, my
fellas?
Who's doubting this
Hey,
girl?
Autumn, you inspired
Yeah.
me because you successfully deviated the conversation from sports and made it about yourself. That is inspiration.
You know what?
Thank
I think
you.
I
Thank
think that
you.
was just happenstance. I don't think it was a plan. I don't think.
I was very bored during the sports conversation.
Well, you know what you need to do is catch up with everybody else and give a damn
Okay.
about sports. Just
Okay.
give a damn about sports. Hey, you know a team
People
there?
throw the ball and then they fall down.
Now you've got 2 great teams near you. You've got the Baltimore
football.
Ravens and Washington Commanders. You got 2
Yeah,
teams
and
that
the
are winning
Orioles.
teams.
The Orioles.
Oriole.
No, I'm
No,
talking
they,
about
they stink again.
Yeah, they're in last place.
They were
Oh.
good for a
Keep
few
up.
seasons, but it didn't
Oh.
last.
Keep
man.
up.
There's also some other sports around
She must
here.
have had a boyfriend a couple years ago. It's like, well, those Orioles, they're something else.
Those.
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 I'm not saying that because you're a woman. I'm saying that because you don't like sports. So I would think your opinions would come. I know your husband was from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
So you kind of.
So I loved the Packers for a while.
Saw little Packers there from time to time. You'd know what was
Yeah,
going
that was
on.
fun.
Now Aaron Rodgers has lost his mind.
Yeah.
And he's fun for that. Hey, by the way, did you go read about the Diddy stuff? And my goodness gracious.
Yes, I've been watching
How
all of that.
bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they have an
Yeah.
we have to do this when we come back, Craig. You know, Law and Order Network, they've done something very smart, which is they take the transcripts because there's no cameras, and then they AI it. I have a little bit of a trend.
Oh,
or they
wow.
have, so it's actually pretty smart. And so you see Diddy and the judge and everybody, and they're doing their talking. We'll do it when we come back. Alex Williams.
Is that a tease?
It's a tease.
Wow.
Yeah.
2 teases in one show, Eric. I'm proud of you.
Don't get too excited. Alex Williams says there are brake lights on 85 into Gwinnett.
Yeah, we've seen it worse. We've also seen it better. We are watching the delays, though. 85 North starting at Chamblee Tucker Road, exit 94. Take those up to Jimmy Carter Boulevard in Norcross. Then just sluggish, leaving Highway 316 up into Swanee. 316 eastbound in recovery mode from I-85 out into Lawrenceville. Earlier trouble at Duluth Highway is cleared. 400 northbound, you're still seeing the brake lights from 285, but braking free right around the North Springs MARTA station. Also improved in Alpharetta with just a tap of the brakes now right around Windward Parkway. The West Freeway 20 westbound, a little sluggish sluggish from 285 to Fulton Industrial Boulevard. How's I-20 into Cobb County? Kobe Dawkins.
20 eastbound sluggish from I-285 getting past Panola Road. Westbound rides, you're on and off the brakes leaving Stonecrest getting to the perimeter. This report is sponsored by Active Pest Control. Termites are one of the most destructive pests. Let Active Pest Control develop a custom termite control plan for your home. For a free quote, visit ActivePestControl.com today. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
Online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday. Oh my God, you just made my day. Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is tomorrow morning at 8.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz
On 95.5 WSB.
Your deck is more than just a place to flip a burger or have a cup of coffee. It gathers your friends and family on all your favorite occasions and is there to enjoy every day. Hi, I'm Scott Nelson, owner of Nelson Exteriors, and we build beautiful, high-quality decks at a reasonable price. We're licensed and insured, provide exceptional customer service, design help, and we'll work with the materials you want. Strength, durability, beauty. Decks done differently. Built by Nelson Exteriors. Get your free estimate. Google Nelson Exteriors.
City of Hope, a place where seemingly impossible blood cancers become treatable, curable. With more than 19,000 bone marrow transplants performed, we're the largest and most successful program in the U.S., making major breakthroughs in treating leukemia, lymphoma, and rare blood cancers, personalizing a treatment plan right down to your DNA. Now the experts striving to make the impossible a reality are closer to home. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
Home improvement projects can be a stressful guessing game. Trust the Plus. Painting Plus, the highest level of communication. The Plus means siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and of course, painting.
Hi, I'm Charlie, owner of Painting Plus and the Plus family of businesses. We'll make you comfortable and keep you informed with every step of your project.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus, siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
Not everything in life comes with a guarantee, but for premium local farm fresh sod that comes with a 1-year guarantee, family owned and operated NG Turf is the only grower to consider. NG Turf sells direct to homeowners. Get your sod from a certified turf professional at ngturf.com.
Hey, this Congress lady with the blue hair, the old lady with the blue hair.
It's cool.
Yelling at Kennedy. You think it's cool? I don't even know the sound was down. Maybe whatever she was saying was correct. But yeah, I don't think so.
She's probably yelling at him when he said this earlier today.
I don't think people should be taking advice, medical advice from me.
Oh, well, actually, she was like that, wasn't she?
I think people are saying because of his position that he shouldn't have said that. But in reality, when you listen to the full cut, here's the full context of it.
I don't think people should be taking advice, medical advice from me.
Right, no, I got that. And I'm not asking you to give them medical advice, but would you vaccinate your child for measles?
If I answer that question directly, that it will seem like I'm giving advice to other people, and I don't want to be doing that. I want people to make
but
up
that's
their
kind of
own.
your jurisdiction because CDC does give advice, right? I'm not trying to do it as a gotcha. I was just kind of...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
well,
okay,
but
whatever.
basically what he's doing is he's saying, I'm not going to give you the gotcha moment, but obviously the answer is no from him. I would think that's what my takeaway would
Listen
be.
to your personal doctor.
Was that scandalous?
It's scandalous because they're using the first part of the cut.
Well, no, but I mean also, for somebody in his position to say you shouldn't be taking advice from me, and he's the director of the National Institute of Health. I mean, so but
it was
what
the measles shot they asked him about just there.
Yeah. He's a real
It's a
listen.
bit scandalous to say you wouldn't take the
He's
measles
well, I
shot.
don't. He is actually an anti-vaxxer. Now, a lot of the people who are called anti-vaxxers are not anti-vaxxers. Just questioning one vaccine in your life does not make you an anti-vaxxer. But Kennedy, who came from the left, because before the pandemic, by and large, the anti-vax movement was a kind of lefty granola. We live in Vermont on a farm with our own well, hippie kind of thing. And that's the reality. So RFK is, you could say that he is an anti-vaxxer because he was an anti-vaxxer before the pandemic. My problem is when they say anybody who questions one single vaccine, that makes you an anti-vaxxer. That I do not agree with. Before we left, we were going to do something when we came back. I gave a tease. AI
Diddy.
That's right. You have the audio for that?
Got it right here.
I think I said it was the Law and Order Network. It's the it's the Law and Crime Network. And I guess they cover it, so there's no cameras in the courtroom. So they just take the text of the trial for that day, and then they match it to AI, and I guess they show you scenes. I have one here. This is the opening. And in the absence of cameras, I guess it's a good idea. It still sounds kind of goofy.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Maureen Comey, Matisse Steiner, Meredith Foster, Madison Smizer, and Christy Slavic for the government.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Your Honor. You have Mark Agnifilo, Taney Garagos, Brian Steele, Alexandra Shapiro, and Jason Driscoll. And we're joined today by Mr. Combs. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Combs.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Have you heard the questions I asked the government attorney and your counsel and their answers?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
There you go. So,
wow. Who would listen to that for more than a minute?
But you're also seeing it.
Okay.
So through AI visuals, you're seeing all the people. And yeah, it's kind of absurd. But on the other hand, a lot of people aren't going to read the transcripts. So if you just take it and kind of turn it into a thing and have a few of the scenes, I would love to see some of the stuff when they're talking about this crazy life that they had. I am so lucky when I read about these things. Like I got lucky in a couple things. One is I had a weak stomach, so I couldn't become an alcoholic like most other members of my family. And the other is I am so easily intrinsically embarrassed that I could never be involved in any kind of scenes like what is being described. And I know that a lot of people have no problem, but I just get too embarrassed. There's no way that I could sit and watch somebody with my and sit there and I would be so intrinsically embarrassed. I would want to unzip my skin and step out of it. That's what I would want to do. So I got very I can't relate to this stuff at all. But I will be, they're saying they're going to show, the question was, because there's a video of these freak-offs. And
I hope they put them out.
They're not going to show the videos, apparently. They're going to show stills from the videos to the jury. And we still won't see them, but what will AI see? Who knows? So there's something if you want the Law and Crime, whatever. And the Menendez brothers.
Are they out?
They're not out, but
up for parole.
He changed the judge changed the sentence, which was a life sentence, to a sentence of 30 years, I think, or whatever, which they've already, so 30 years to life or something like that. So they're up for parole. So it's not, he started the process that could lead to them getting out of jail. I wanted to ask Autumn, are you one of these middle-aged women who are in love with the Menendez brothers and think this is a fantastic thing?
No. When did they go into jail? Do you remember?
96, I believe.
Yeah, because I remember hearing about their trial and what they did, but I was 2, 3, 4, 5.
I guess
I was 14, so I wasn't plugged in. I was much older than that at the time, and I never really got into the case as far as. But I guess the real question is whether or not they were actually abused, and this is turning on the idea that sexually abused. And this is turning on the idea that maybe a lot of that evidence was kept out of their trial, and that the jury wasn't able to be exposed to that, which is, it is a little bit different. But then again, I don't know. I wasn't there. Shoot them from behind. I mean,
I don't know.
If somebody does something like that, there's a reason.
Well,
it's not that they're insane.
Well, as a jury, you can't sit there and go, "There's a reason," whether they prove it or not.
Well, I'm not in the jury.
That's true. That's true. All right, don't get snippy. I didn't say you were in the jury, all right?
I'm not in the jury, so what do you want?
Gosh, I just said I was inspired by this lady. Now
Take it back.
Now she's
Take it back.
Maybe this should inspire you to be brave and stand up for yourself, like me.
Well, you know what? I do think that... Autumn, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
You are brave and courageous.
We see you, we hear you.
Well, Jared sees you. I only hear you. Alex Williams has better news on 285 in Clarkston.
Yeah, finally got that crash totally off to the right. 285 southbound, the inner loop East Ponce exit 40, but still seeing the tough ride back into Doraville and Dunwoody. And now a new left lane crash heading out to Stone Mountain, Highway 78 eastbound at the entrance to Stone Mountain Park. How's 285, the outer loop of the perimeter, Cubby Dawkins?
285 westbound, the outer loop, seeing delays from Georgia 400 getting to the Cobb Cloverleaf I-75. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any H system maker or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Selling your home does not have to be a circus act. With Orchard, you can skip the juggling and get paid twice. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler, and here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash up front from your current home so you can go ahead and buy your next place without waiting around. No juggling closings, no temporary rentals, no, hey mom, can I stay for a week situations. While you're moving into your new home, Orchard is behind the scenes getting your old one ready. Repairs, showings, even upgrades to bump up that sale price. And when it sells for more, like it usually does, you get that money too. So yeah, it's like getting paid twice. Once now, once later. And who doesn't want to be paid twice? Come on. We all love getting paid twice. Start with a free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com. No pressure, no catch, just a smarter way to move. That's Orchard.
Why are more and more homeowners choosing Rhino Shield over traditional paint?
That's easy because paint contains 60 to 70% of water, and your home needs to be painted every few years because it offers little to no protection for your home.
Rhino Shield is not paint. We've been protecting homes across Georgia for over 20 years. Rhino Shield is made up of 79% solids and will protect your home from Mother Nature and can even make your home more energy efficient.
And it's made right here in the United States. Protect your home with Rhino Shield. Go to rhinoshieldga.com.
Spring weather brings everyone out of hibernation. Don't we love to get outside? But it makes our crowded roads even more crowded. Hey, it's Smiler Mark McKay. Road congestion combined with spring distractions cause more accidents. Been hit and hurt? Call the Strong Arm, John Foy and Associates. They specialize in personal injury law with an impressive winning track record, taking on the big insurance companies. There is zero cost until they win your case. Call for your free case evaluation right now. JohnFoy.com.
For many women in our community, support for our physical and mental health feels out of reach.
When your workday is long.
And your budget is tight.
And your village is busy.
And the road between home and help is a 6-lane highway with no crosswalk.
Northside Hospital believes women deserve better.
Northside is rolling up our sleeves and getting to work.
We got your house call.
Heard.
Learn more at northside.com/heard.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 6:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by the Lloyd Advisory Group. Our top local story: a mother is now charged with murder in Clayton County after her child dies in a hot car. The woman's mother is defending her.
Sheila Jennings tells Channel 2 Action News that her daughter, 37-year-old Charisma White, should not be in jail for her grandson's death.
My daughter is a good mother and a good person, and I'm not saying it because she's my child. She is a wonderful mother.
But police say last August, 3-year-old Josiah slipped out of his Clayton County home while his mother was asleep, then managed to get into a hot car and later died from the heat. White now faces child cruelty and murder charges and is in the Clayton County jail with no bond. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
84 degrees in Atlanta, turning dry and hot before our next chance for thunderstorms over the weekend. Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards is coming up. New money is available to help Metro Atlanta communities become more walkable and bikeable. Paul Donsky with the Atlanta Regional Commission gives one example.
Avondale Estates, if you haven't been there, is really making dramatic progress on transforming its downtown center into a truly walkable, safe place. And they have a master plan update for their downtown to keep their revitalization going.
The ARC is awarding over $1 million for grants for 6 planning studies across Metro Atlanta. DeKalb County CEO takes issue with some residents who are complaining about receiving water shutoff notices.
While there have been some limited shutoffs, CEO Lorraine Cochran-Johnson says they haven't rolled out anything widespread. That's even as the county deals with numerous delinquencies.
We have delinquent $104,719,076.41.
She says they'll start aggressive measures next month to start resolving outstanding bills.
If you owe a water bill, please come forward.
Commissioners recently approved a water rate increase of 10% annually over the next decade. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
Happening now in Newton County, the search for a teenager accused of killing his stepdad. Deputies are searching for 16-year-old Jaden Daniel.
Arrest warrants have been issued for Daniel, who is considered armed and dangerous.
Caitlin Jett with the Newton County Sheriff's Office says the suspect is accused of killing 41-year-old David Gay. The boy fled the scene on Avery Drive in Covington in an SUV belonging to Gay. It was later found at Denny Dobbs Park. Anyone with information should call 911. We have posted the suspect's photo at WSBradio.com. Gwinnett County Police issue arrest warrants in a case where there are both victims and suspects.
It begins when 20-year-old Zanaya Loyal tells police she was groped by the owner of a smoke shop on Stone Mountain Highway. Then Corporal Ryan Winderweedle tells Channel 2 Action News the same officer gets dispatched to the same location 10 minutes later.
Shortly after she leaves the South Precinct speaking with that same officer gets dispatched to the vape shop where the store owner is in an altercation where he got into some kind of fight and was knocked unconscious.
Video from the store shows both the groping and the beating by Loyal and some family members. Now everybody has warrants out for their arrest. Michelle Wright, 95.5 WSB.
A new investigation leads to questions about your grocery bill.
Consumer Reports, The Guardian, and the Food Environment and Reporting Network recruited shoppers over the past 3 months to spot check prices at Kroger and Kroger-owned stores like Fred Meyer and Ralph's. They found that the typical Kroger shopper ends up paying far more for what they think are discounted items, everything from Cheerios and dog food to instant coffee and salmon. Consumer Reports says many of the items in question had outdated sales tags that rang up as a lot more when people went to check out.
Sherry Preston reports Kroger says it is working to address the possible discrepancies. The FAA and airlines that serve Newark Liberty Airport meet in Washington today as the airport sees more cancellations and delays. The goal is to come up with a short-term fix to deal with the disruptions caused by equipment issues and an air traffic controller shortage. The FAA wants to limit the number of takeoffs and landings at the airport. It is now 6:34. It's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple Team Traffic starts now with Alex Williams.
All lanes shut down right now in Stone Mountain, Highway 78 eastbound at the entrance to Stone Mountain Park. It's just temporary, though. They're dragging a crash from the left lane to the right shoulder, so just bear with that. 285 southbound still slow out of Tucker and Dorville, trying to get down to the crash off to the right in Clarkson at East Ponce. If you're traveling 400 northbound, that ride's improving greatly, leaving Sandy Springs into Roswell and Alpharetta. What's the story on I-85 toward Gwinnett County, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, slow rides remain starting at Chamblee Tucker Road, 85 northbound getting to Beaver Ruin Road, and then those delays pick up again at Highway 316 getting to I-985. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Partly to mostly cloudy this evening with a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures falling into the mid-60s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy, drying out, but heating up, high 87. Hotter still for Friday with partly cloudy skies. Daytime highs in the upper 80s, low 90s. Watching for more thunderstorms on Saturday, high 85. Sunday, mostly cloudy, high 83.
The only rain we see right now in Storm Tracker radar is all the way back in middle Alabama. It is heading this direction. Right now, though, it is 84, dry in Midtown Atlanta, 79 in Dunwoody, and 83 in Noonan. More news at 7 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
I love my home, and now I found a company that loves it as much as I do. TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Chris Chandler here. These folks have done work in my home. Boy, it didn't take long to realize I could trust their expertise, their attention to detail, and what I think you'll find, just as I did, an amazing level of service. TE Certified has more than 20,000 five-star reviews, and it's been serving Atlanta for decades.
TE Certified, we love your home.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer. With experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, where we know gifting isn't just about the latest styles and best quality, it's also about the best prices to make your occasions memorable without breaking the bank. Diamond studs are the perfect gift. They start at just $275 and have 100% upgrade value for life. We have a great selection of diamond and sterling silver jewelry with necklaces as low as $110. So don't compromise on your big occasions. Stay in your budget with something they'll cherish. From D. Geller & Son in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. We can reawaken any space to make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Don't let a DUI conviction cost you your career. Get the DUI lawyer, GeorgeStein.com.
You're hardly at home in the spring. Your family is busier than ever. So are the springs on your garage door. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. If your garage door just isn't right, really noisy, won't open or close, there could be a lot of reasons why, like a broken spring or a busted opener. At All Four Seasons, our highly trained technicians provide 24/7 service, upfront pricing, and free estimates. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
You know what? I'm at cross purposes here. On one hand, there are some very good stories in Greg's Studio B1 bin.
That is correct.
On the other hand, earlier I said that I would read this review that this jazz pianist had of Andre 3000's new piano album, and it's pretty amazing and awesome. And I'm not agreeing with it. I love Andre 3000, not just as a member of Outkast, but just as a cool musician. I just think he's cool. Because he sits on top of his laundromat and plays the flute while his laundry's being done. I think that's a cool. That's a person I'd like to hang out with. Somebody who's comfortable. You know, he's comfortable in his own skin.
Yes,
and he's not in the rat race. He's not trying to have number ones anymore. Whatever. Maybe tomorrow he will.
You want to get the Outkast hits? Go find Big Boy. So Big Boy's still doing it.
I still don't. So I don't necessarily agree with this. I haven't heard the album, but it is the most scathing review of an album I've ever heard in my life. So, Greg, what do you want? You want me to read this? Do you want to do a story? I'm leaving it up to you because this is your hour, after all. Or you could join us tomorrow and do these stories. I don't. Could he? Or we booked it tomorrow?
Should be fine.
I don't have to ask my wife, Jared.
Have to ask the boss.
Is Greg allowed to join tomorrow?
We should be good.
Do you want to?
Please? You can get to the review. You know how I'm a fan of bad reviews. There's that one review for that play I worked on that we always talk about, the Einstein play, because it was written so well. And you get a bad, even if, like you said, even if you don't agree with it, when a bad review is written well or at least entertaining, it's
I don't know, but this is so harsh. You're not going to believe how harsh this is. So this is I'm getting this from Vice. Andre 3000 recently dropped an improvisational piano EP titled 7 Piano Sketches, but not everyone is a fan, it seems. In fact, jazz pianist Matthew Shipp took to social media to fire off some harsh criticism, describing the album as complete and utter crap. So let's get to now. This is how his review starts. So a friend called me up and mentioned that Andre 3000 has a piano album out. I was like, what? I checked it out on YouTube. My impression of it, I think it is complete and utter crap, horrific, god-awful, insipidly wretched nothing. And now the F-bombs start flying. I will delete them as I can. Oh my God, this is some atrocious stuff. Different word. Is he some type? Now this is amazing. I've never seen this in a review before. He drops the F-bomb followed by a-hole. Is he some kind of... Is he a complete and utter dilettante? I could go into detail about why each cut is stillborn, but why bother? It does not even deserve the attention of a critique. It is so dreadful. The guy is not a pianist. That is the beginning and the end of it. What an ugly piano sound. This sounds to me like pure fraud. What a lack of respect for the discipline by someone who, in my opinion, is a complete, again, the a-hole word comes up, for doing this. It is depressing that this garbage will get any attention because he has a name and fame. There is nothing refreshing about the naivety of it. It is just downright dreadful and awful, true, F-bomb, crap, insipidly wretched nothing. That's the second time he said that wonderful line. For context, and the thing is, but here's the thing about Andre 3000. I just wanted to read that because that is the harshest review I've ever read in my life.
But he is a jazz musician. He's not a music reviewer. He's not a writer.
Right, and this is on
Smith.
Right, this is on his social media.
Yeah.
So this is his straight opinion. Right, he's not writing for, whatever, this magazine or that magazine. But the one thing, and I'm not the first. I saw Fantano. The reason I saw this review was I was watching Fantano, and he was talking about this. He didn't really review the album, but he was kind of talking about this whole thing, and he pointed out that Andre 3000 is not actually pretending that these albums are anything other than what they are. Or this is an EP, the Flute album, and then this EP. So he's not really ripping fans off. He's not pretending that this is anything like Outkast or whatever. He's basically,
it's a new thing.
It's a new thing. But this guy is just totally offended about it. And at one point he goes, I think that he, at one point, he basically just says that this is, like, it's just an outrageous thing that he would do this. Like, this guy's personally offended that this came out. Now, that means I have to listen to this. But there's one part of this review where he's talking about the way his fingers are, like, he gets half an idea and tries to make his fingers do half the idea that he then gives up. I don't know. So
this is some of it here, George, right?
Yes. Sounds all right. Well.
Sounds like Gil playing in his toy piano.
Yeah. I just want to say I'm a huge Andre 3000 fan. So maybe
it's avant-garde.
Yeah.
Or is it amateurish?
It's not annoying enough to be avant-garde.
Well, if it weren't Andre 3000, then they would get no attention, and maybe that's
what the guy is getting.
Andre didn't set out to do that. Anything he does because he's high profile will get the attention. So I agree, you can't really blame him. But
you know what George Harrison used to say about avant-garde, right?
What?
Avant-garde a clue. That's what so there you go. I just wanted. I'm passing it along because I've never seen, and you're right, it's not an official review, it's somebody's opinion, but I've never seen somebody trash an album where they go after the person, for doing this, like they've committed some sort of crime.
Well, this guy has a successful career as a jazz musician. David Bowie is.
Yeah, no, he's
a
on.
fan
He's
of
yeah,
his work and,
and also that's the thing. And again, this was pointed out by Fantano. I don't want to act like I'm coming up with things here that I heard somebody else say, but this guy is not a stick in the mud jazz guy. He's known for being part of some avant-garde stuff, some stuff on the edge. So he's not this guy is genuinely insulted. And I find that to be just amazing.
There's a bit of Matthew Ship.
Okay, he's a little better. Yeah. He's got a little.
He's also got accompaniment.
Well, that's true, but you think that has anything to do with? I'd like to see the worst review of this guy's stuff. I'm sure it wasn't nearly as bad as his review of Andre 3000. Anyway, I had to share that because I've never heard a takedown that harsh.
maybe he was having a bad day already. Because sometimes, if
Shit,
you're having
the guy-
if you're having
and
a
then you
bad
hear
day,
something.
then when the old saying, when it rains, it pours, right?
Yeah,
You're
but he
having
would
a bad-
have deleted it by now if he was just having a bad day.
Well, he's
he
got
probably
to
has a lot of great albums that he's put out that get no attention.
Right.
And then you've got Andre 3000 come and do the thing that he's been doing his whole life that he's actually good at and gets.
But see, a lot of times people get that wrong. Dan Weldon, who unfortunately lost his life in IndyCar a few years back, when Danica Patrick was coming up and she was in an Indy 500 and she got all the attention, and he didn't think that she was that good. Now, I believe she came in third in that race or something along those lines. She actually raced in the top 10 for a lot of that Indy 500. But Dan Weldon won the race, and he had shirts like Danica Who and all this. And my opinion was more people saw you win that race because Danica Patrick brought more people to watch the race. And I would say the same thing to this guy. If someone as popular as Andre 3000 is even dabbling in what you do, it's quite possible that that brings an audience to you and your style of music that wouldn't have been there before.
Might start a whole new generation of piano players.
Or anything, or just people who enjoy it. Or somebody might be an Outkast fan and not know that on a Sunday morning putting on music like that is something that they kind of get into, and then they'll graduate. It's only an EP, so it'll graduate if they like it to something else, and maybe before you know it, they're listening to stuff like Matthew Shipp. So I think it's kind of, you can't really get mad at people who bring a larger audience and put a bigger spotlight on what you do, even if you know that they're not necessarily in your league. Alex Williams says there's a crash on 400 in Sandy Springs.
Yeah, thanks to our traffic troopers. He said it's been in the left lane, 400 northbound, just north of Abernathy. Luckily, delays not too bad then that area of Sandy Springs. Trying to make your way up to Northridge, exit 6. Earlier crash on the Stone Mountain Freeway, Highway 78 eastbound at the Stone Mountain Park entrance right there next to the Big Rock. That has been moved off to the right. And 85 northbound, still a little slow, but improving once you get north of 285 for the ride up into Norcross and Duluth. How are things looking through downtown, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, 75, 85 northbound slow rides continue to start at University Ave, getting past Freedom Parkway. 85 southbound heavy volume continues to stretch from the Georgia 400 merge to I-20. And this report is sponsored by the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. The 2025 FIFA Club World Cup is coming to Atlanta. Get ready for a global soccer showdown at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Don't just watch history, be there. Get tickets at FIFA.com/tickets. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
If you have the WSB radio app,
If you have the WSB
all
app,
the notifications you
If
need.
you have the WSB app,
All the local and breaking news alerts you need.
Breaking news in Cobb County.
All in one place.
we'll send out an alert on the WSB
The
app.
95.5 WSB app.
Download it from your app store today.
have you gotten your grilling preparations and fixins for Memorial Day? It's coming up. I've got mine from Omaha Steaks, and you should too, because during the Memorial Day sale, you get 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. And listen, you're going to get an extra $35 off with promo code ERIC, E-R-I-C-K, at checkout. Just look for the promo code box, put in my name, Eric. You'll get $35 off and already 50% off site-wide. So I loaded up on hamburgers and the gourmet jumbo franks. Of course, my wife loves the caramel apple tartlets. But go load up your cart with deliciousness, whatever you want, 50% off site-wide at Omaha Steaks for Memorial Day. It is deliciousness delivered to your door. I've already got my order in. I did save you guys some food, so go check it out. omahasteaks.com, 50% off site-wide. The Memorial Day sale happening right now. Use promo code ERIC, E-R-I-C-K, at checkout for an extra $35 off. Minimum purchase may apply.
Attention seniors, do you want more personalized healthcare with more one-on-one time with your doctor? Then join us at the grand opening of CenterWell Marietta. CenterWell offers senior-focused primary care that's centered on you. Celebrate with us Tuesday, May 20th, near the Walmart off Highway 41 here in Marietta from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Enjoy food, music, and more at this free community event. Plus, tour the new doctor's office and meet the care team. For details, visit CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com. That's CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com.
At Ameris Bank, we know that it's never just business when it's your business. I'm Brian Parks, head of commercial banking in Atlanta for Ameris Bank. Whether your business is looking to optimize cash flow, improve your payment technology, or grow more quickly, my team and I are here and ready to help with a superior level of service, smart banking technology, and local market expertise. I invite you to reach out to my team by visiting amerisbank.com/yourbusiness or a local branch near you. Ameris Bank, fiercely yours, member FDIC.
Dave Baker here. If the temperature inside your house doesn't fit with the temperature outside your house, you need to call Coolray Heating and Cooling. In May, you can get your HVAC system tuned up for only $79, or you can get up to $2,250 in rebates with the purchase of a complete Carrier comfort system, plus get free attic insulation. For comfort that lasts all year, visit Coolray.com to schedule your appointment today. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell, and for over a decade, I've trusted America's best choice for windows, doors, siding, and decks.
Spring is the perfect time to update your home, and America's Best Choice makes it easy with these spring specials. Highest quality, energy-efficient windows starting at just $299. Take 10% off a new deck and create the outdoor oasis of your dreams. No pressure, no gimmicks. Visit abcwin.com today to schedule your free consultation.
The basketball playoffs are here on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on the action. The app is so simple to use. Just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code ROAM. Get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. That's code ROAM on Prize Picks to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get the $50 bonus credit just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
All right. We do have a piece of audio to go out on, I'm told. But this is important to me. I think I've asked this before, and I think you said not yet, but I want to, now that I've finished season 2 of The White Lotus, I have to ask you again, Greg. Have you watched it? The White Lotus?
I have not, no.
All right.
Really?
Stop it.
Yeah, you gotta watch it, Greg.
Listen, immediately, you just have to do this, Greg. You have to do this. The seasons are not that long. First one's 6 episodes, second is 7. And
the third is 8.
this guy's a genius. This guy who wrote and directed this stuff is just a genius. And at the end of the second season, there is you just don't get storytelling like this. I can't wait for this guy to make movies. Maybe he never will. Maybe he'll just stay in what he's in. But this is especially, well, season 1's great, but season 2 has.
I know what happens at the end of season 2 because Christina watches.
Oh, well, how does it? What's the? Well, that
Spoiled.
It ruins the whole thing. It ruins the whole thing.
The journey is usually the part that people remember anyway.
Is that true? Because the whole thing is the thing that happens in the very first scene becomes revealed in almost the very last. Actually, the very last scene.
Yeah, I blame her. How dare she watch it?
Well, if she's watching it, why are you watching it over her shoulder if you're not watching? That's silly. What's going on with you guys? How's this relationship going that she's just watching this and you're just
because she watches a show alone that we don't watch every single thing together?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking
Eric's
about.
seen every episode of Below Deck.
No. My wife has watched everything on streaming. That doesn't count. My wife has seen everything on streaming. So I couldn't keep up if I tried.
You're right. The relationship's failing. She watched White Lotus.
You know
without
what?
Me. I watched all of Suits without her. I thought I was doing her a favor.
Why? Yeah. Why were you watching the new one or the old one?
Nobody watched the new one.
The new one failed.
I fell asleep and woke up, and the new one, or the old one, was on TV, like on E, and a weird episode. And I started watching. I was like, man, this is so bad. This acting is so melodramatic. And for whatever reason, that drove me to start watching. And now, to be fair, it was a thing I just kind of put on, so I have paid attention. But I ran through all 9 seasons of it.
Jeez. I simply think that you need to go through the White Lotus thing. I just think you're a film lover. Anybody who loves good filmmaking, with that being right there available and you're paying for the subscription anyway, I just, just do it. Even though, okay, it's been ruined a bit. Okay, it's been ruined a lot if you saw what happened at the end. But So I don't know what kind of impact it's going to have, but certainly you will appreciate great writing, great direction.
Do that after you watch all of Blue Bloods.
That's on Paramount Plus. Too.
That's a good.
Justify that Paramount Plus.
Well, he can
subscription.
compare mustaches with
Yes.
Tom Selleck. Now he's got. They call him a young Tom Selleck now. This Greg Russ.
They do. People have started saying that on the street, like, "Hey, young Tom Selleck."
I think next Selleck. That's the way to go with it.
Yeah.
Next Selleck.
Justify that HBO Max subscription.
Autumn.
Justify it.
Autumn.
Yo.
Bye-bye.
Oh, bye.
I just wanted to make sure you were in this last segment.
No, thank you so much. You guys, we had a great show today. I appreciate you.
And you are an inspiration.
Oh, I know.
You are the STEM program of my life.
Yes, true.
Greg, thanks. George, thanks. Tim, thanks. Jared Yamamoto, thanks. All right, that music's telling us two things. Shut the hell up and get the hell out. You know us. We do what we're told. We're good people. Shelley Winters up next with another great radio show for you. We'll be back at 3 tomorrow. That's the PM. You're all invited to join us, but until then, continue on the journey. Don't piss off the genie.
656, School Day Carrier, WSB 24-hour traffic center. Getting a little better into downtown, but still some brake lights southbound from the 85-400 merge down toward North Avenue. And what looks like maybe some new trouble in Roswell and Alpharetta, 400 northbound, just past Holcomb Bridge Road. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
Money Update. From WSB consumer expert Clark Howard. Sponsored by Reliable Heating and Air.
If you are somebody interested in buying a home, there are so many unsold inventory homes that the builders who built them are having to offer big incentives where they're offering you free this, that, or the other just to get that home sold. So you right now as a buyer looking at new home construction, you are in charge. You're the one that can make the deals where it works for you.
Hey y'all, Linda Beaver here, and summer starts now at Beaver Toyota. The trucks have been rolling in and we're loaded up with fresh inventory. Road trips, beach days, or just cruising, we have the perfect Toyota for your summer adventure. Get huge savings, low financing, plus Beaver benefits include lifetime powertrain warranty, lifetime oil changes, lifetime loaner cars, and more. The best selection, the best deals, but when they're gone, it's over. Summer starts now at Beaver Toyota, always providing you a world-class experience.
That's your garage door. Almost broken, but technically not broken yet. And you know the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So you don't fix it, 'cause it ain't broke. And it gets worse. Until one day, 2 a.m., raining alligators, carload full of dry cleaning, you push the button, and out of nowhere, guess what's broke? Your garage door. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. A garage door that's almost broken can actually do more damage than one that's fully broke. Jammed up parts put an extra strain on the motor. Rollers out of whack stress the tracks and the belts. Fix it early while it's still a simple repair and before your car gets locked out or locked in. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come over and make it right. Because if it's almost broke, you fix it.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Hey, it's Belinda for the board-certified plastic surgeons at Marietta Plastic Surgery. I've trusted their team for years. Doctors West, McNeil, Hanna, and Biswas have been serving the Atlanta area for over 25 years with expert surgical and non-surgical care. With warmer weather on the way, are you summer ready? Marietta Plastic Surgery is here to help you look and feel your best. They now offer Awake Liposuction, a less invasive way to sculpt your body with less downtime. And their med spa still has all your go-to treatments like Botox and fillers, microneedling, Diamond Glow, hydrofacials, and Morpheus 8 for radiant, glowing skin. Looking to restore thinning hair or reshape your hairline? Marietta Plastic Surgery is the only practice in the region that offers the gold standard in hair restoration, the Foundation Aesthetic Hair Restoration Method. Visit MariettaPlasticSurgery.com to schedule your